Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
The new iHeart app.
This is the one app you need.
Love my presets. The preset feature is dynamite. Love it.
And I've been telling all my friends about it. They're on the app.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
That kid that's hurt.
0.9 Kiss Country Guitar.
Yeah, that guy.
Ingalls is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Pat.
Which is crazy.
Performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley
Right.
Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at...
He stayed for a year.
9.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingalls.
Oh, and is taking his kid.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a winning
He's getting a medical red shirt, though.
teamwork.
Is he not?
Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like
I thought they said they only played like 8 games this year.
like you. They
Is it?
beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets
Yes.
or a few acres, we have everything you need
20 seconds.
out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life, out here.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
ESPN Asheville, your #1 preset in the car, and now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler. Free never sounded so good. Live from the Ingalls studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Live, just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can get into the chat with us. It is the triumphant return of the Mullet from the NFLDraft.net. Mullet Manor.
Guess who's back? With a brand
again.
new rap. And I don't mean, never mind.
I have to ask on a level of 1 to not going to do that again. How drunk did you get for your birthday, St. Patty's Day extravaganza here over the last, 5 days?
Also, the high side is not going to do it again. Yeah, I didn't get close to that. But, I mean, that's death. So
Shoot! I lost a bet then.
You actually bet that I was going to.
I bet with Chris Womack yesterday that you would be at that stage of, man, I'm too old for this.
You could have made that bet in the next 10 years, and I would still bet against you.
This coming from the same guy who has spent the better part of the last, 2 months talking about how I'm too old for this. I can't do this anymore.
Look,
I thought this might be the one that this might be the straw that broke the camel's back. Basically, you're going to go on a 3-day bender, go all out for your birthday and St. Patty's, and then you're going to be, okay, 38's my limit.
Look, bruh, I have something in common with Brett Favre. If I ever retire from the game, it won't be because I don't think I could still play it at a high level. It will be because I don't want to, and that is it. I'm like Toby Keith. I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
And that sounds like Aaron Rodgers as well.
Oh, Captain Ayahuasca. You know, I went back and looked that there has been a day in every March for the last 4 years where Aaron Rodgers was the A story on this show.
Yes.
Do you know how many other people I can say that about?
Not very many.
0. Including Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. None of them.
Yeah, because they're not stories. They're not off-season stories.
They're not train wrecks. And look, I'm rocking the old I'm rocking the now throwback Jets hoodie today just to celebrate that my team does not have to deal with Aaron Rodgers. And if you had told me 2 years ago that Justin Fields would be the quarterback of my team, Aaron Rodgers would be looking at going somewhere else, and I would be happy about it, I would have said you smoked recreational crimes. But here we are.
Well, I mean, look, again, Aaron Rodgers is a story in the offseason. Those guys aren't. There's no question as to what's happening right now with any of those quarterbacks that you just mentioned. We know Josh Allen's, locked up with his contract. Patrick Mahomes ain't leaving Kansas City. It's all about the unknown. And it's been 4 straight years that we don't know what the hell Aaron Rodgers' plan is for the upcoming season.
Well, I mean,
First
I feel like
is he going to leave Green Bay? Then it was, is he going to make him trade him? Oh, what about the Jordan Love thing? I forgot about all of that. Like, oh, he's disrespected because Jordan Love got drafted. That's been going on for 5 years now. Then it was, is he going to fix the Jets? Then it was, oh, he didn't really get a shot last year because of the injury, so he's going to fix the Jets this time. And now the Jets have told him to pound sand. And allegedly, every other organization has done the same.
Yeah, they told him away, as in far, far, and go away. And I'm fine with that. Now, here's if you don't know what we're talking about, the Vikings basically came out this morning through Tom Pelissero and said they are going to look to add a veteran quarterback, but at this time they are not interested in Aaron Rodgers, which means that we're not going to have the buddy rom-com of Viking stepbrothers with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. I really feel like somebody should call Aaron Rodgers and go, hey, have you ever defrauded the government of a state in the South? Because if you have, I feel like we're living in the Matrix.
How many pictures of your genitalia have you taken and sent to women?
How many goober pictures have you sent to a beat reporter for the Jets? Because if it's less than 4, you're actually trending a little higher than Brett Favre.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by any of this.
None of it.
What's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? I mean, on the surface, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a landing spot. Sounds absolutely insane.
Oh, no, he has a landing spot.
Anybody who's been a football fan.
Oh, no, he has a landing spot. It's the same one that I've been telling you since the minute DK Metcalf got traded.
To the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. What else are you going to do? Are you going to ride with Mason Rudolph? You went and got DK Metcalf, and you're going to extend George Pickens, and you want those two to be thrown to by Mason Rudolph. There could be an absolute – you remember in The Dark Knight Rises when Bane stood on the sideline and went, today is Gotham's reckoning, and he blew the stadium up? That would be the 2025 Pittsburgh Steelers with Mason Rudolph playing quarterback. I can't tell you who it's going to be. I can tell you who it's not going to be. It's not going to be Mason Rudolph.
No. Not a chance that'll be Mason Rudolph.
Sorry, that
but
cough.
I mean,
this cough is just, it will not go away. And now people look at me like I'm a smoker again because every time I cough, they're like, whoa, have you another Marlboro there, fat boy?
Still haven't thought about going to the doctor, have you?
No. Warrior.
Yeah. Built stupider. Okay.
Here's the thing. You know what a cough means? It means there's something in you that's trying to get out. Open the door, let her go.
Yep. Take a lot of Mucinex or something. Just you gotta expel that stuff.
I ran out and I don't want to take any more.
The word of the day is expectorant. You probably should go get the doctor to check that out, though. I'm going to say, I don't want that to turn into pneumonia and you end up in the hospital like I did a few years ago.
And illnesses look at me and they go, I don't want to mess with that because I know how he's going to medicate this and I can't drink that much.
I don't understand in the Aaron Rodgers saga here that is just never ending. As you said, 5 years now we've been doing this every offseason. Of what is happening, why has he not made a decision, why is this dragging on so long, We've been doing that a lot lately.
But you don't understand it.
What do you mean?
So you said on the surface, it's hard for you to understand this.
Yeah, well, bare bones, the fact that Aaron Rodgers is not coveted, that sounds odd on the surface. That's all I was saying.
Well, he is
now,
coveted.
I know
He's just
all
not coveted by who he wants to be coveted by.
Who's coveting him?
Look,
right
this
now?
is Tanya from the trailer park. Just because you don't want to go home with Billy Bob doesn't mean Billy Bob don't want to go home with you.
Who is that? Who's the coveted? Who's the coveting team that he doesn't want anything to do with?
Well, the Giants were very interested, and I told you from the jump that ain't happening.
No,
I no shot of that. Pittsburgh is definitely interested. To the point of Cam Hayward is going on a podcast to go, I ain't doing the ayahuasca trip. I'm not doing the darkness retreat. Either you're either one of us or you're not. Cam, let me explain something to you there, big boy. You can say that when you have a quarterback. You don't. Because right now you have Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph. So maybe pull down that braggadocious down just a hair.
Not gonna happen. And not even gonna think about it. Like, this is already, to me, Cam Hayward's discussion on the Not Just Football podcast that he was on. To me, this is Aaron Rodgers doing the same stuff that he's done for the last 4 years. He's already fracturing the locker room.
So allow me to go back to the Tanya Trailer Park Princess reference that I just made. The only time that she will stop taking free shots and being a train wreck at the bar is when Billy Bob stops buying them. Well, you keep doing it. So, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry that 4 thinks she's a 7, but you keep doing it. And guess what? If he wants to play next year, he will have a landing spot. I promise you that. It might not be the one he wants, but he will have one. And it's with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Did you notice Cam Hayward and DK Metcalf were the two that came out and said that? Nobody from the organization did. Yeah, you know why? Because they're sitting around with bated breath going, please say yes, please say yes, please say yes, please say yes. We don't want to go back to Russell Wilson. We don't even like Subway.
Yeah.
Because you're stuck. See, this is what happens when you go in this perpetual cycle of we will not crash out. So we go trade for DK Metcalf. Meanwhile, we don't have a quarterback. That would be like putting a Maserati in front of your single-wide trailer that the roof has a hole in it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it's not allocating your funds in the best potential place. Did you see who Pittsburgh met with last night?
Who's that?
Jalen Milroe. That's your backup plan. I hate to tell you this because Jackson Dart's not going to be there at 21. I tried to tell you this, I don't know, a month ago, and I don't know why it is that everybody in the draft community somehow lives 3 weeks behind me. I'll never figure that out. Hey, you remember when I told you Shedeur Sanders was going to the New York Giants?
Yep.
How many mock drafts you seen without Shedeur going to the Giants? Do you know what his odds are currently to be drafted by the Giants? It's minus 550. Yeah, every single year I do this because it ain't hard to figure out, especially not when you know people in the league. Jackson Dart, he's not an option for you, Pittsburgh, unless you want to grossly overpay. PFF put out a mock draft this morning. 3 quarterbacks go in the top 3 picks. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't. It did lead to Abdul Carter falling to the Jets, and I went, I'll sign up for that right now. In. I'm Jeremy Green, and I approve this message.
Right. So Aaron Rodgers will have a landing spot, but
if he wants it.
And well, I mean, and see, that's the problem for me. Why the hell are we waiting around for you? And that's where I get that you're in this position. You don't have a quarterback. You're stuck. All of those things, and you don't have the ability to just tell him to pound sand.
No, because
Cam
this is
does.
the problem.
Cam can do that. DK Metcalf can do that.
Tank, the NFL
but
is
as
the
an
problem.
organization, they can't do that.
That's where we're at. All right, there are 32 girls in this school. And we all want the prettiest girl at the dance to want to dance with us. And unfortunately, some of you have to learn you got to get lazy-eyed Lucy over here because it's just the way it is. That's the only way the math works. And that's what Aaron Rodgers is. He's the girl that's got a good personality. Sorry, you get to this point, it's either I'm going with Aaron Rodgers or I'm taking my cousin, and I don't really want to listen to you heckle me about that.
I would really rather you didn't, in fact.
I was just told by one of the smartest people in the NFL that no one does an analogy like Jeremy Green does.
They're not wrong.
I took that as a great badge of honor.
You should. As you should. So Aaron Rodgers, he's going to have a landing spot. But there again, I don't know what you're getting. I mean, Aaron's, you suffered through this with the Jets this past season. Mm-hmm. How much gas is left in that tank, period?
Depends on what you're asking. It depends on what you're asking. It depends on the team that you're going to. Look, I liked Minnesota as a destination for it because that's a good offensive line that they've just put more money into. And I look at that with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and all of the other things, and I thought that was a good landing spot. I think Pittsburgh is a pretty good landing spot because your other alternatives are poopy. Because Justin Fields has already told you to kick rocks. I want you to think about what I just said. Cam Hayward's out here puffing his chest out going, you either want to be a Steeler or you don't. Bro, you got shot down by Justin Fields. That's not even lazy-eyed Lucy. That's dyslexic Diana that just went, nope. I can't even add 4 and 4, and I still tell you no. That's where you're at. I've never in my life seen a franchise that thinks they're so much more attractive than they are. Now, you asked, what are you getting in Aaron Rodgers? With that team, with those weapons, I can't blitz you the way I blitz the Jets. Because they're not going to down block me over and over and over again and allow me to get around the edge and harass him mercilessly. I don't hate that. I don't hate that because if you traded for DK Metcalf and you didn't have a plan, it was dumb. In the last 2 hours of this show, we're going to talk about free agency grades for every NFL team. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the one incomplete I have. Because with Aaron Rodgers, you're probably a solid B+. If you're trying to go Jalen Milroe, Jackson Dart, which I don't even think is on the board, but Mason Rudolph, it's an F. You have 2 diva receivers that are notorious for getting a little antsy when they don't get the ball, and you don't have anybody to get them the ball. Aaron Rodgers can do that. I know a lot of you don't like him. I've seen 10 people in the YouTube chat say, I wish he'd just go crawl under a rock somewhere. Nobody agrees with you more than me. The problem is there are not 32 pretty girls to go to the prom. So you're going to get Aaron Rodgers. It's going to keep happening until he's tired of it. And guess what? We did the same thing with Brett Favre. All of you seem to forget that. We did this same thing year after year after year after year. And I'm not shocked it's happening again. He's still one of the 25 best arms on the planet Earth. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
As long as that's the case, and he wants to keep doing this, we're going to keep doing it.
Yep.
And there is a merit to the thought that he just likes being chased. He may not even want to play. I know he wanted to play for Minnesota. I know that for a fact. I think he wants to play for Pittsburgh. And now that Minnesota's not an option, that could accelerate that pretty quickly.
Yep.
I saw somebody talking about money. He does not care about money. This is not a money thing.
Andreas Pinkney in the YouTube comments says that he should just retire, basically. And he's not good enough to warrant this level of attention anymore. The problem with that statement is it's wrong. It's factually incorrect. Because as long as he is still one of the top 25 arms in the league, then He's still good enough to be talked about.
I actually tend to agree with him. I tend to agree with him that he is – I don't think there's a huge difference. All right, so if you told me it was Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, how many more games do you win with Aaron than Russell Wilson? Because if you say a number that's higher than 2, I'm going to call you out of your mind.
Yeah, it's maybe 1 or 2.
I don't think
you're still going to be like the 10-7 team at best.
I don't think they are. That schedule
You don't think they are what?
Is evil. Evil. And that's why I think they have to go, Aaron. That's the reason I wanted to talk about it. Now, I will say this. We went a little over there from what I was expecting. Because of all of the news that I've heard today, Aaron is probably the second headline. It's the one you have to talk about first because he's the biggest name.
Mm-hmm.
There's a byline here. Not the headline, the sub-headline. The smaller text. I think we're burying the lead.
All right. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We'll be back with the lead.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible.
Clear.
Leading healthcare facility, clean and safe. And he trusts Granger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety.
Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single and gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Ever wake up feeling lousy, knowing something is off with your body? You don't have time for guesswork. You need Viome. Forget all the generic health fads. Viome doesn't tell you what you want to hear. Delivers a custom health plan that's as unique as your DNA. It's science, not nonsense. Want energy? Want better digestion? Viome has your back. Stop trusting amateurs. Go to Viome.
Yeah.
Personalized gut professional now. Call Star Gut to get $110 off any test. That's star 488 to receive a link to the offer.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this month's Parks Community Heroes, Corey and Kristen Short and the entire team at Silverados, who converted their music venue in Black Mountain into a donation and distribution zone in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Corey and his team founded Valley Strong Disaster Relief, dedicated to providing essential support to our neighbors in need. Nominate your Parks Community Hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville is back. Join us on the 29th at Bears on the South Slope for a lighthearted rage-releasing benefit party appropriately named To Hell with Helene. We'll exercise some demons together. A little axe throwing, a pie eating contest, mechanical bull rides. There'll be live music and, of course, great barbecue. Proceeds from the party will support Linked for Life, a mental health initiative. Say To Hell with Helene with us at Bears Smokehouse grand reopening downtown March 29th.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for, run wind sprints when nobody's watching for, the moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
You're just dumber than a bag of hammers.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. I'm coming to you live from the Ingalls studio. He is at Mullet Manor, and the lead of the day is not Aaron Rodgers. Jeremy, what's the lead story to you?
The lead is that the Minnesota Vikings just went from a team that could win the NFC North to the worst team in that division, and it's not really all that close.
Going with JJ McCarthy. Resetting the decks.
I don't think I've ever in my life seen a move that made less sense to me. Hey, we just won 13 games and finished with the second best record in the NFC. And now we're going to turn this franchise over to a 22-year-old quarterback who's coming off a knee injury that cost him his entire rookie year. And the backup plan is me. Sweet. That's a brilliant idea. I would have been better if you had Daniel Jones sitting behind him. That's not even an option anymore. Now it's JJ McCarthy or we suck a lot. So
who's the backup?
Right now?
Yeah.
I don't know that there's another quarterback on that roster. I know they're looking to add another veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if they even have.
But as far as who that is, that's no word on that. Is that going to be like Jameis Winston?
Oh, no, they do have one. The old Rippin and the Terran himself. Brett
Rippin.
Rippin.
Yeah, that's not going to be nice. We're not going to have fun with that.
Yeah, to me, this is. You ever been watching a movie?
Stupid.
You ever been watching a movie and like 35 minutes in, you go, I feel like I could write the rest of this, and I don't actually need to watch it because I know what's getting ready to happen. You've got a vastly improved Chicago Bears team. You have a Packer team that is the Steelers cheese edition, and the Detroit Lions, who are now the most criminally underrated team in the league. You're not as good, let alone gooder, than any of them. And yes, I know gooder's not a word. Somebody asked me that, like, do you not know gooder's not a word? Do you not understand that that's a shtick? Like, bro, I got a 1480 on the SAT. Yeah, I know gooder's not a word.
Right.
You know what you got on the SAT? Drool.
He loves using that line.
I do. It's one of my favorite ever. Works for Vince Young on the Wonderlic, too.
The Minnesota Vikings win 10 games this year with JJ McCarthy.
No shot.
True or false?
False. Aggressively
That's
false.
where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I don't know about aggressively false. I mean, the team's still talented enough to win some games, but they're not going to be. I mean, I don't see how you can expect them to be a 13-win team or a 12-win team or
let's play a fun game
in that neighborhood.
Let's play a fun game. So you know the 6 games within the division. What would you say the record is coming out of that?
In the division, I'll say you're 2-4 at best.
2-4 was the answer I was looking for. I want to say 1-5, but I haven't seen the schedule, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
On the road, you go to the Cleveland Browns. Hey, there's a win. The Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah, I did that in reverse order, and I did it that way on purpose. All right, so knowing what you know, say you get a win over the Browns, you get one over the Cowboys, you get one over the Giants, and I'll say you split the difference and win 2 of the ones that I just said. That would mean on the road, you were over 500. Do you know who comes to you?
Who's that?
Atlanta, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, and Washington.
Woof.
Yeah.
I'll give you one of those.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. This is a team that I could legit see going 0-8 at home.
Ooh, that'd be brutal.
And you set the expectation because you brought in Sam Darnold, and just any quarterback works. Do you realize how stupid that makes you look when the quarterback that you traded up for doesn't work? LMNO fired. It wouldn't be Kevin O'Connell. It would be Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, because you've invested all this money to make this team all this much better, and then you fall off a cliff. Kevin O'Connell's still the wonderkind. This is the reason that as soon as I read this, I went, oh, you're not very smart.
But does he get absolved from all of this?
O'Connell?
Because he had to have had a hand in this, right? Like, Kevin O'Connell goes into Kwesi's office and says, absolutely not. We absolutely need to have Sam Darnold. Would they not have listened to that?
Would
they not have? Okay.
They made an offer. It just wasn't what Seattle offered. And I told you, source, he wants to be on the West Coast. You're not on the West Coast. You gave him a shot, and he was super appreciative of that, which led to him giving you an opportunity. Your opportunity was to franchise him. You made a boo-boo. Then you made a requisite series of boo-boos that have now led you to ultimately having absolutely no safety net whatsoever. You better be right. You better pray to God that I'm wrong, because if I'm not, you're all going to be unemployed. And it won't take more than a year. You might, some of you, Kevin O'Connell, you might sneak out that second year. But if this goes as bad as it could, and look, I said JJ McCarthy was a year away from being a year away before he lost a year to a knee injury. That's not just time that, it's not like a jail sentence. That doesn't just carry. You didn't take a meaningful snap. You didn't make a meaningful throw for an entire year. That year doesn't count. You're starting right back where you were a year ago. And now I ask you this. How bad do I hate this quarterback class?
A bunch.
JJ McCarthy would be the 3 in this class for me. At best, he might be the 4.
Yep.
That's a 3rd-round pick. It's what he was last year. It's what he would be this year. And you took him at 10. You have gone so far all in here that is mind-boggling to me. And this is with me knowing definitively that you could have had a first-round pick and then some for him this year if you had been willing to commit to Sam Darnold as your franchise guy. But you didn't.
No. And it's one of the most head-scratching moves of the offseason to me. The fact that Minnesota wins that many games, went 13 games, had a chance at the division, the number 1 seed, all of that, and you just let that quarterback walk out the door. I mean, I don't care that you just drafted the guy in the first round. If somebody else feels like he's worth that, then you flip it. How many times do we talk about in this league, if you have your guy, stick with your guy? I don't see how you came out of last year and went, yeah, Sam Darnold's not our guy.
I don't either. I don't.
That's insanity.
And the only thing I can wrap my brain around is that the fan base was so upset at those last 2 games that they thought if we franchise him and we flip JJ McCarthy and he winds up going somewhere else and he's a really good starting quarterback and wins a playoff game, a la Tim Tebow, all of a sudden the fan base is going to think we're morons in spite of the fact we did the correct thing. This is why I'm telling you, Tennessee Titans, the Minnesota Vikings are an absolute cautionary tale of what can happen when you reach for a quarterback. Now, Blue-Eyed Bandit in our YouTube chat said, or just commented, if JJ leads them to the playoffs, do you eat the crow? Absolutely. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right, and before you tell me I'm crazy, I want you to tell me which one of these teams are going to make the playoffs over. The Washington Commanders, who have loaded that roster sideways with a quarterback that's exponentially better. The Philadelphia Eagles. The Detroit Lions, who are just flat out better than you. They've been better than you. They're going to continue to be better than you. Either Green Bay or Chicago. I don't really trust either one. But they're good enough to beat you a couple of times head-to-head. Somebody's coming out of the South. So you got Tampa Bay or Atlanta, and it could be both because you remember that thing I just said about Minnesota's schedule? Go look at who the lesser teams in the NFC South play. I think there's a cooking school on the Falcons' schedule at one point. Oh, and by the way, I haven't even mentioned that I like Seattle better than you right now because they have a better quarterback than you do, and their defense is every bit as good, if not better. I like the Rams better than you, and I like the Cardinals better than you. You need a lot to go right for you to make the playoffs. That's the number one thing that drives me crazy as a draft guy, is watching teams and how they cannot mitigate risk. There are GMs in the NFL that are the definition of the guy that works with you that shows up drunk 3 days a week, and he thinks he's so good at his job that they're never going to fire him. And that's all well and good until you run that forklift through a pallet, you run it through a wall, and all of a sudden you just cost the company $75,000. Now you're a drunk, unemployed loser. And I just look at this and go, there's the net game here to what Blue Eyed said there. There's a 5 to 10% chance that you're right. And JJ McCarthy is fantastic and leads you to the playoffs. You do realize it's a 90% chance that it's not right. You betting your house on that? Because Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is. Because he has no backup. Yep. There's nobody out there. Joe Flacco doesn't make you a playoff team. Joe Flacco and I are the same age. We graduated high school the same year. Mm-hmm. There's nobody out there. There's not even a Daniel Jones, which I would argue Daniel Jones would have actually made you look dumber than just crashing this into the rocks. Because if Daniel Jones came in here after J.J. McCarthy was terrible, you're probably fired anyway. Mm-hmm. You can make this offense work with Daniel Jones. You can't make it work with the guy you traded up for. It's the reason. Don't trade up. Don't trade up. Don't take it. Nobody will ever convince me. And Tank, you can attest this because I've had this argument no less than a dozen times. Nobody will ever convince me that they had a top 10 grade on J.J. McCarthy last year. I talked to scouts up and down the NFL. You know how many have told me that they did? 0. You don't have a reason to lie to me. Yep. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah does. To tell me that, oh, no, we had him as the 7th overall prospect of this draft, and he was only behind Jaden Daniels, and that's what a lie sounds like. Secret time, that's all lies. You know who's telling me something completely different behind closed doors? The guy whose name I can't put on this because it's all off the record. It's just your word and mine, and we're sitting here bouncing ideas off each other, and you know that I know you don't believe anything you just said about J.J. McCarthy. So there's no reason for you to lie to me. It could work. And if it does work, I'll happily eat crow. Now, if it works the Bo Nix way, don't be surprised if that crow has a comma at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you did make the playoffs. There's a big old asterisk on that. But sure, let's see how that ages over time. But, man, you just put everything you had on the girl you walked in with underwear color. You're at 00. Just let it ride.
Somebody made a draft day movie reference earlier in the chat when we were talking about Aaron Rodgers. It said how much fun do you think the investigator from the draft day movie would have with Aaron Rodgers? Now all I can think about with the draft day movie is the moment where Kevin Costner's character, the GM of the team, he trades all the picks for number 1, and the first thing he said to his team was, as you could tell, I just put all our asses on the line. And this better work. And that's exactly where the Minnesota Vikings are right now. Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, those dudes made decisions this offseason that have directly put them in danger. If this doesn't work, and if J.J. McCarthy is an abject disaster with the Minnesota Vikings after a 13-win year, I don't see how you survive it. You're going to have to get to that 10-win plateau just to keep your job, I think.
Oh, boy. All right, we have to take a commercial break because we're pushing it.
We do.
There is nothing that I love more than good dum-dum talk, and we're about to go as dum-dum as you will ever hear. This is step 1 of a 3-step conversation that ultimately leads to one team in the NFL setting themselves on fire I'm gonna tell you what it is after this break, and I'm watching it, and I'm laughing. I'm laughing a lot.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. We'll also get to a couple of super chats in the YouTube comments after we come back.
This is your extra
clear
weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More dry weather and continuing with the dangerous fire conditions as
do we have time with your breaking news or whatever?
Clouds and 77.
Oh, okay.
With a few showers, 50. Quite breezy through the overnight. Thursday, breezy with a few showers around. Otherwise, sun and clouds, 62 degrees. Now, tomorrow night, the next change. Rain showers may end as snow showers for some of us, especially with elevation as we drop into the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, breezy, and a high near 60. For the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Our iHeartRadio Music Awards celebrated the music and artists you've loved listening to all year on iHeartRadio. Brought to you by Jeep.
It's now streaming on Hulu for a limited time.
Bad Bunny,
Billie Eilish,
Glorilla,
Kenny Chesney,
Money Long,
Nelly,
your host, LL Cool J,
plus Lady Gaga,
Mariah Carey,
Gracie Abrams,
and iHeartRadio's Tour of the Century Award, honoring Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Streaming now on Hulu.
Take advantage of Zero Res Air Duct Cleaning's spring sale and remove the dust from your home. Mention ESPN Asheville for $50 off your air duct cleaning. Use code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Patrick, plus a pre-show performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at 99kisscountry.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles. Get your tickets today.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com.
Okay.
Our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774
5 seconds
3 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for.
Yes.
Sprints when nobody's watching for. The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this. Your moment. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We are back at the Sportsocracy, and Jeremy, you know, when an athlete becomes famous, starts making millions and millions of dollars, and you have, you know, let's just call it dirt on them, some people are going to take that opportunity, right, to do a little blackmail.
Who sent you a text message about Deshaun Watson?
No, this is not a Deshaun Watson story. He's already been leveraged many times. Read the court records. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is actually a basketball-related story where a young woman has taken to social media to call out Anthony Edwards, superstar player for the Minnesota Timberwolves. She goes on Instagram or whatever she was using, whatever social media. She posts out that she went to high school with Anthony Edwards and that she once risked her future to do his homework for him so he could pass Algebra 2. Now, normally this would be, okay, why? Why are you doing this? It's the fact that this story has apparently gotten some legs, and she's now gotten like over 4 million views on her claims. And I'm just curious as to what in your brain thought that was going to matter to anyone.
So,
does anybody care that Anthony Edwards cheated in Algebra 2 in high school? No. Wait, here's a better question. Show of hands, how many of you wouldn't expect a star basketball player who's going in the NBA draft right after high school to be cheating in Algebra 2 so they can graduate, right? I don't understand what this is. And then, like, she shares the video out, and she's got receipts, too, right? It's all about receipts. She shares, like, a text conversation between the two of them where she sent him, like, the homework with the answers, and his reply to her in that text chain was, I don't need that. I already have this. No, you're lying. You don't have this. You asked me how many problems we had to do. And he was like, yeah, that's called clarification. That's not, hey, I need the answers to the test again.
Okay, I'm going to make this as clear as I can. Anthony Edwards could show up to the Target Center tonight with a dead vagrant that he is dragging in by the foot, and I would not care. Namely because he's an NBA player, and I don't care about the NBA. I really don't care that he cheated in Algebra 2.
I thought this woman thought she was breaking news. She thought she was just going to hammer him, and she's going to extort so much money out of him because the end of her little video that she posted said, I told him one day that I was going to leech off his clout one day. No one cares.
Yeah,
darling, I hate to break it to you. Nobody's shocked that a star athlete's cheating in school.
Did you say this woman's name?
I did not.
Okay.
Would you like to know it?
Yes, if you know it, I would like to know it.
Her name is Sophia Pineda.
Okay, Sophia, let me. I am not a celebrity. I am the smallest level of publicly notable that there is. Your high watermark in life is that you got 4 million views on an Instagram post. I once got 14 million views on an Instagram post where 90% of the comments were calling me a dumbass. That's your high watermark. You should do gooder in life.
Do gooder.
You should learn from Scotty Scheffler. He's doing gooder. He is the reigning Masters champion, and you know what that means. What does the reigning Masters champion get as we close in on Augusta just a few weeks away?
What do they get?
Yep.
They get to host the dinner, right?
Exactly. They get to host the Masters dinner. And every single year, I feel like the Masters champion tries to out-stupid the previous one of what they serve at the dinner. Scotty Scheffler went, nope, I've done this twice. I'm doing me, bruh. Appetizers, cheeseburger sliders, served Scotty style, not explained. You're going to get a burger, you're going to eat it, and it's going to be the way I like it. Firecracker shrimp with sweet Thai chili sauce and sriracha mayo.
Let's go.
Which sounds lovely.
Little boom boom shrimp.
He also has
his bonefish.
He also has his dad's meatball and ravioli bites.
Okay.
Which sound just lovely.
Mm-hmm.
The first course is Texas-style chili, which he made sure to say was with the corn chips. Which, if you've ever been to Texas, you know that's a thing. You eat their chili without corn chips, they will look at you. It's like putting ketchup on a hot dog in Chicago. Just, nope, you're doing it wrong. And then your main course, what would you think Scotty Scheffler would serve as the main course?
Oh, chicken fingers.
No,
he hasn't gone up scales. So
no, he's classy and bona fide.
Yeah, with his cheeseburger sliders.
It's a big old cowboy ribeye. Or
Okay.
if you have dietary issues, a little blackened redfish. Side items: macaroni and cheese served family style, which is great for somebody like me because I'm fat, and so I'm gonna need 3 ladles of that. Jalapeno creamed corn and soy glazed Brussels sprouts. Then for dessert, you get a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie.
Okay.
That's how you do it. Just do what Scotty did. Don't get cute. Don't put truffle on crap. Truffle's gross. Okay? And you know what? Since we're talking about food, I actually told this story just for this little aside. And I mean this. I don't know who you people are that are ordering fish sandwiches at fast food restaurants, but I need you to stop. Because every single one of these, like every fast food place now has a fish sandwich. It's gross. It's gross. I don't know what 4-eyed fish you're getting at through a drive-through window. Stop eating it because it's making you stupid. I'm convinced that the more fish sandwiches that we have that are coming from fast food establishments, the dumber the people of this world are becoming. And I think those two things are linked to each other.
Yeah, I don't understand the fish sandwich thing either.
Like
McDonald's. The first time I ever had a McDonald's Filet-O-Fish sandwich was the last time I had a McDonald's Filet-O-Fish sandwich.
If you text
why
me,
would you do that?
If you and Tank and I do this a lot when we're in the studio together. If you text me and said I picked up McDonald's for lunch, and you showed up with a Filet-O-Fish, I swear to Jehovah, I would go buy new gloves just to aggressively take said glove off and just jack slap you as hard as I could. I mean, I would cut you for a backflip if you got me excited for McDonald's and you brought me a fish sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
It is gross.
Do better.
It is the Sportsocracy. ESPN Asheville. Check us out on the YouTube stream where you subscribe to the channel. You can join us in the chat, and you can super chat as well. We got a couple to get to here.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
And this from Sir Jimothy. He says, way off topic, but I passed my Resna ATP exam. Long time coming. He failed the first time, so it's extra sweet. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Sir Jimothy. Can somebody in the chat tell me what that is? Because I don't know what that means.
I Googled it, and RESNA is the Rehabilitation, Engineering, and Assistive Technology Society of North America.
You passed a test where I can't spell 3 of the words in the title.
Exactly.
That means you're way smarter than me.
The ATP exam is I did find this out. That's one of those $625 a pop things. Like, you want this qualification, you want this certification, you're going to pay a boatload of money to take the test, and if you fail, you're out the money. Kind of like taking your the Series 7 if you're going to be a financial advisor.
I remember when my wife took that.
I understand that to be right. That's a similar kind of a thing there. So congratulations, Sir Jimothy, on that one. Good for you. You are a smart man, way smarter than we are. And then we got one from Matthew Hoffman.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
He follows up with, this also way off the topic. However, he did hit an 8-leg NHL parlay last night for 151 times the money.
That's solid.
That's
a solid hammer.
Anytime you can hit an 8-leg parlay, we'll give you props on that.
You hit an octopi. That's solid. Now, you broke the poodle rule, which, and my question would be, how many of those do you play? I've hit an 8-leg parlay. I actually hit a 10-leg parlay one time.
Mm-hmm.
It also took me about 10,000 times of trying. But, man, it's sweet when you do.
Yep.
Good for you, Matthew Hoffman.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's do one more. Just came in from Jonathan Welch.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
He says the closest we have ever come to 0 first-round draft pick trades in the upcoming NFL draft.
One coming.
There's one coming? Really? Who's it going to be? Is this the Jackson Dart trade?
No. I'm telling you, I've claimed my stake that the Raiders are trading up with the Giants to get Travis Hunter.
Okay.
I have a sizable wager on it, too. On DraftKings, it's currently plus 2,200 that the Raiders are the team to draft Travis Hunter. I have a card on that. And before you tell me I'm crazy, always remember, I was the first one that told you on Trayvon Walker, too.
He was.
And the guy that told me the original point of contact is the same guy.
That was what, 20 plus 2,600, I believe? Was Trayvon Walker to be the number one pick in the NFL draft?
I think I got him all the way to plus 3,500, but I think it was plus 2,800 when I first said it.
It was somewhere in that neighborhood. And then might have been 2 weeks after you said it, it started happening. All of the news started coming out. Oh, they're really hot on Trayvon Walker, and that thing dropped down to, I think it ended up at like 5, plus 500 or something.
He was minus money.
Oh, he was minus money.
He was minus money by then. DraftKings was trying to buy that ticket from me for sizable. We'll give you 70%. Nope. I'll take all 100 because I'm right. And I was right when I said it, and I'm right now.
All right. So if you think he's right again, maybe that's something you want to throw some change down on. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Top of the hour break. We'll be right back. Start talking free agency grades around the NFL.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a win
Everclear
out here takes
I do have
practice,
to pay off that the breaking news. So just come back with breaking news to start the
It's
the
great
next
to have a neighbor like.
Okay.
No matter the season, our team members are here to help.
Do the setup. Yeah.
Of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to life.
I'll be right back.
Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life, out here.
The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour is here, and we're loving hearing from our fans that you love seeing us play. You love seeing the dunks, alley-oops, long shots, trick shots, the buzzer beaters, and all the cool tricks. And we can't wait to bring all our history and all the laughs. We're coming to Harris Cherokee Center on March 21st. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. You cannot miss this. The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour presented by Jersey Mike Subs is here, and you can save big. Use code DRIBBLE to get 30% off select tickets for a limited time. Don't miss out on all the fun, dunks, jaw-dropping what just happened moments before the tour is over. Get tickets at HarlemGlobetrotters.com. Additional fees and restrictions may apply. Valid on select seats. Code is available for limited time only. Offer only valid until 7 days before game day.
Monday, March 31st, the Orange Peel presents Neon Trees. Get your tickets now, online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss Neon Trees, live, March 31st. See you at the Peel.
In the Sportsocracy, we like to make jokes, and we make jokes about doing ball things. Well, nobody does balls quite like Bear Smokehouse Barbecue. Bear balls, mac and cheese, pulled pork, and cornbread, fried and topped with a cheese sauce and bacon. I can see why they like to talk about their balls so much. And if you like ball things, it's also a great spot to catch the next game. Bear Smokehouse, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. Grab you some balls today and join us for the grand reopening March 29th.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com MTNGraphicsAVL.com. That's MTNGraphicsAVL.com or ShowtimeSportsAVL.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More dry weather and continuing with the dangerous fire conditions as the Weather Service does put their statement out for this afternoon. Sun, breezy, a few clouds, and 77. Change late tonight, early tomorrow with a few showers, 50. Quite breezy through the overnight. Thursday, breezy with a few showers around. Otherwise, sun and clouds, 62 degrees. Now, tomorrow night, the next change. Rain showers may end as snow showers for some of us, especially with elevation as we drop into the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, breezy, and high near 60. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Britt and Tilson Glass.
Looking for crystal clear solutions for your home or business? Look no further than Britt and Tilson Glass. You can text us at 828-469-0600 and online at brittandtilson.com.
Listen, you can skip this ad, or you can double your first year cash back with Discover. Still here? Good choice. Discover automatically matches all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828.
All right, here we go. 15 seconds.
ESPN Asheville, your number one preset in the car, and now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler. Free never sounded so good. The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
You with me? Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We're heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Get those super chats in for today. Also, don't forget you can join us live tomorrow and Friday. Yes, the tournament, all the madness really gets underway tomorrow. I don't know more of this first four stuff, although congratulations to the Tar Heels for just absolutely shutting everybody down with that whole do they belong in the tournament thing.
Yeah, meanwhile, West Virginia's coach and best player are already out the building. So, I mean, I'm a West Virginia guy and all, but if you think West Virginia belonged in over North Carolina, we can talk about that. You're wrong, but we can talk about it.
We can talk about it.
Speaking of being wrong, I have to cover something that's in a comment in the YouTube chat.
Well, hang on a second. Let me finish my promo.
Oh, sorry.
Tomorrow and Friday, we're going to be live. Show will be live 12 to 3 from Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown Asheville, on the South Slope on Cox Avenue. So come on and hang out with us and get some of the best meat in town. Now go.
Apologies. I'm not going to lie. I forgot you had even started that. Short-term memory, not great at 38. Ahmed Dockney said, you say all this about Minnesota, but later when you're wrong, you never apologize, i.e. last season. I think I said I was wrong about Minnesota probably 200 times. I'm not going to apologize because I didn't kick him in the ding-ding. I was just wrong. I would apologize if I wronged you in some way, which I didn't. I was wrong, and I admitted it. And then I took a great victory lap in saying most of what I said about Minnesota was when JJ McCarthy was the starter, not Sam Darnold.
Sammy D MVP started week 5.
Yeah,
I think.
I had no faith that Minnesota would actually play Sam. They would turn it to JJ McCarthy. It would turn into a train wreck. But I said I was wrong about Minnesota a couple hundred times.
Mm-hmm.
You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but
no, I'm pretty
confident I said that a lot.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'll admit it.
Now, if that was directed at me, then okay, I probably didn't. Sorry, I got that wrong. I thought you were going to be bad last year. I fought it all the way to the end of the season, though. I feel like we were only about 3 weeks away from the end of the regular season where I was going, it's been good, but is Sammy still good? So maybe that was directed at me and not you. I don't know.
I feel like I'm one that will readily admit when I'm wrong. It just, it's not happened a whole great number of times, but that one I was wrong about.
Before we get into NFL free agency grades, we have breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This is one I'm not wrong about, and I feel very sure of it. And based off the events of today, somebody's about to do something dumb. Jalen Milroe's pro day was today. Tank, would you like to take a guess at his unofficial 40 time? This is hand-timed. Just remember that. So the range is bigger.
Okay, so the range is bigger. I'll go 4.55.
Faster.
Was he 4.8 something?
Okay, well, you just went slower. 4.5 is faster than 4.8.
I meant to go the other
you need to go to a smaller number if it's faster.
I was thinking 4.48, I guess is what I was thinking.
Faster
than that. It's like a 4.35.
4.37 unofficial.
Ooh.
And you know what that means? Oh, I've played this game before. It means somebody's going to do something stupid because they go, hey, look, but he's real fast. Did you not know that? Show of hands. Who didn't know Jalen Milroe was fast? Because if so, I'm never listening to another word you ever say about anything. Because that means you cannot see what was right in front of your face. I already knew he was fast. Here's the problem. He sucks at playing quarterback. On ice. As bad as I've ever seen in person. Literally, and people say this all the time. Oh, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. No. Jalen Milroe is legit the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. But
worse than Justin Fields?
Yes, by a lot. You could have said any name right there. You could have said Ben DiNucci, and worse than that.
Wow, that's brutal.
Do you remember that game where the Denver Broncos had a starting cornerback play, or a starting wide receiver play quarterback for them during COVID?
Yeah.
I'd take that guy over Jalen Milroe.
Kendall Hinton? Wasn't that his
Kendall
name?
Hinton. That's a good pull by you. I would take him and would not think about it before I would use a draft pick on Jalen Milroe.
Wow. Okay.
Go back and watch that Vanderbilt tape. It's literally one throw. There is one throw in that game where you look at that, and if you can tell me in any conscionable way how that looks like an NFL quarterback and get me to believe it, I will drain my bank account and give it all to you. That's how confident I am that you can't do it.
And yet, somebody's going to take him in the second round.
Oh, at 4.37?
Mm-hmm.
4.37 opens up the possibility that we go super stupid.
Are you talking top 15 stupid?
I heard an evaluator that I trust the other day on, I believe it was on a PFF live stream. I know it was on a live stream. I just can't remember who it was with. Say he still thought Jalen Milroe was going to the top 75. I think I could draft 75 people that live in the city of Asheville ahead of Jalen Milroe. Brad Johnson on that list. Dude told me straight up he cannot run anymore. I'd still take him over Jalen Milroe and would not think about it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe to play wide receiver, not to play quarterback.
I would take Tank Spencer to play quarterback right now over Jalen Milroe. And he's got a wheelie knee scooter.
Yeah.
We call him Hot Rod.
Hot Rod Richard.
Hot Rod Richard Spencer the Fourth.
Wow. Just so Jalen Milroe runs a 4.37, you said?
Yeah, unofficial. The range is 4.37 to 4.44. I've heard both.
Okay.
And it doesn't really matter. At that speed for a quarterback, it is a guarantee somebody's going to do something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I am positive of it.
Jonathan Welch says the Pittsburgh Steelers pick at 21.
And they had dinner with him last night. Yeah. Don't do it. I'm telling you.
You're telling the same team that did Kenny Pickett. Don't do it.
I honestly feel like I'm at the point with Jalen Milroe. And I this is as clearly as I can say this. This feels like that first dinner where your frat brother in college invites you to dinner and says, "Hey, I want you to meet my new girlfriend." And she shows up and she has a tattoo of a dagger on her forearm. And she tells you about her 3 children who are her pet snakes that she calls Snap, Crackle, and Pop. And then she tells you about she can't pay for her dinner because she invested all of her money in her most recent bail fund. And you go, bro, I can't tell you emphatically enough, don't do this. This will end up with you dead, for sure. That is how cautionary I am looking at NFL teams right now going, do not take Jalen Milroe thinking he's an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Gambit fan. We're all aware Kenny Pickett is a Super Bowl champion now.
He didn't mean to.
Exactly.
He had as much to do with that Super Bowl championship as the tee they kicked the football off to start that game.
That's right. Big Dom had more of a role in that championship than Kenny Pickett did.
The bird had the goofy, terrifying bird had more to do with that than Kenny Pickett did.
Good night. All right, free agency grades. It's time to start passing out some grades here. We'll go AFC first, NFC second. In the AFC, do you want to start with the overall winner, or would you rather start at the bottom, Jeremy?
I'm going to leave that up to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like we should start on a good note.
So you want to start on the high side?
So let's start on the high side. Let's start with the winners of AFC free agency.
Well, the winner of the AFC for me is the Denver Broncos. You went and got Tali Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, and Evan Ingram on a deal that when I heard they signed Evan Ingram, I wrote down a number of how stupid I thought that deal was actually going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed it by over $5 million a year.
You thought he was getting big money.
Oh, I thought he was going.
Or big-ish money.
I thought he was getting 16 plus.
Wow.
You got him at less than 12.
I was going to say, they got him at like 11 and a half.
Yes. And you added DJ Jones. Oh, well, you kept DJ Jones. That's about as good as you could have done, considering you were not one of the big spenders. You also, I thought one of the biggest problems that Denver had was linebacker. You added one of the only ones that I liked at a pretty solid value. $10.5 million for Dre Greenlaw is pretty good. Considering the Jets gave Jamie Sherwood $15 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did pretty well. And I get it. He's coming off an injury. He didn't play much last year. There is a risk. I understand that. I do not care. The Denver Broncos did free agency and did free agency well. I also don't love safety, which it helped that you signed Tali Hufanga.
Mm-hmm. Okay, who's next on that list?
All right, so I'm adding everything all together here. So whether it's trades,
yeah, everything.
all of it. This is basically just your off-season grade.
Right.
You're not going to like the next team I say.
Is it the Raiders?
It's the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm Kuntz was a top 10 free agent on the market for me.
Mm-hmm.
You got him back for $12 million. Are you kidding me? When Joey Bosa, who I don't think has been good in 4 solid years, got the same with actual commitment from the Buffalo Bills, I saw that deal come down and went, did his agent not remember to dial 1 to people that are outside of his zip code? Because I feel like somebody else would have come off more than that. And I know he's coming off an injury. I don't care. You got Jeremy Chin for a deal that it kind of blows my mind. Am I the only one looking at Carolina going, okay, you could have had Jeremy Chin for $8 million. Him and Trayvon Moehrig do virtually the exact same thing, and you gave Moehrig double that. That math does not math to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, you now have the best quarterback that you've had since Rich Gannon.
Are you sure?
I would take Geno over Derek Carr. I feel like that's the one you're about to gristle at. I would take Geno Smith over Derek Carr.
One. That is the one. I don't know that that's much of an improvement. It's
how much of an improvement is it
over what you
over
had last year? No doubt. I mean, this is the best you could possibly hope for. I'm still not wild about it, and I still have a problem with the secondary.
I'm telling you.
I mean, you added Jeremy Chin, but again, I still don't believe in anybody else that you have. I mean, except for Jack Jones.
I'm telling you, do not be shocked if the Raiders make a move on Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
It makes too much sense. And then, look, there were a lot of corners out there that got grossly overpaid. One of them we're going to talk about real soon because it kept the team from being a winner. They go into the duh tier. Mainly because you signed one corner to a deal that is the dumbest deal I think I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't do anything. That tells me you have a plan of some kind.
Yeah.
You even let Nate Hobbs get out of the building, who was probably the best corner on your team. You have a plan somewhere. And there's not many lockdown, no doubt corners. I will say this, and I heard this as well. If the Giants are unwilling to move down, which I'm very confident that they are, don't be shocked if it's Will Johnson at 6. You look at the way Pete Carroll plays defense, and you look at the way Will Johnson plays defense. He's not as big, which I think would be a little bit of a problem for Pete. It makes sense too. Those are my only 2 winners in the AFC.
Really? Okay.
And did you have another one?
The Buffalo Bills?
Why?
Well, I mean, they retained Gregory Rousseau, right?
Which we knew they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like the same thing I said with Jalen Milroe. I already knew you were going to do that. That's kind of like me giving you credit for putting on your pants. I don't. I mean, I'll really denigrate you if you don't do it, but doing it doesn't mean much to me.
I mean, getting Joey Bosa didn't do much for you. I mean, he's not the all timer, but I mean, he's better than Von Miller at this stage, isn't he?
That's not saying much. It's not saying much.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like you overpaid Terrell Bernard. Really, my favorite move they made was Josh Palmer.
Of course it was.
I love him in Buffalo. I actually just did a fantasy football show last night, and that was my biggest winner of free agency. And because he asked me position by position, and it was pick a winner at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. And Josh Palmer was my immediate, didn't even think about it. That's the winner because he will be really good in Buffalo. But I mean, for me, they were a C. I mean, I didn't fail them or anything like that, but it's hard for me to call a winner anybody that goes in that C range.
Yeah. All right.
Now, that is better than what I thought you were going to ask me, because there's a big old pho that I keep hearing called a winner.
He'll tell us what that is after the break right here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. You're in the Sportsocracy.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to
And we're clear.
show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
When you partner with CDW, your people get more out of technology. CDW data experts are simplifying complex workloads with high-speed AMD processors, which helps your project managers efficiently manage heavier workflows. Game designers level up creativity, and scientists develop their next breakthrough. Amazing, right? Make amazing happen. AMD and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/AMD.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzz. What are your letter grades for Denver and Las Vegas?
Is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times what... And then everybody's a C or under?
Not just a chainsaw boy.
Okay.
In general, when you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today.
Jonathan said he calls me Dickfoot now. Oh, that's solid.
The Sportsocracy. We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Coming to you from the Ingalls studio. We'll not be in the Ingalls studio tomorrow or Friday. We will be earlier in the day, but not for the show. The show's going on the road. We're going to be hanging out watching the games tomorrow down at Bear Smokehouse Barbecue on Cox Avenue on the South Slope in downtown Asheville. So you all want to make the plan to come on by, and if you can't join us for lunch tomorrow, maybe you can join us for lunch on Friday. If you were any kind of an actual sports fan, you would actually take the day off so you could come hang out with us. I mean, that's what we used to do.
We'll have a permission slip on our social media at about 9 a.m. in the morning. It's signed by Tank and I. Give it to your employer.
Yes.
I mean, when they fire you, there is a little disclaimer at the bottom that says, we don't actually expect your boss to take this, but if they do, they're super cool, and like we'll shout them out on the radio, and that'd be
we'll be
awesome.
hitting we will be hitting the air about tip time for the first games tomorrow and on Friday. We will have Tar Heel basketball for you on Friday afternoon as well. The Tar Heel Network will take the air right after our show on Friday at 3 p.m. as they get ready to take on Ole Miss in the next round of the tournament. All of the Tar Heel basketball tournament run, of course, will be heard right here on ESPN Asheville. We'll hang in there as long as the Heels do. That same team from last night shows up. That could be a few more games left in this 2025 March Madness season.
I will say they beat Ole Miss.
I believe they will. Vegas already has them as a 1.5-point favorite,
which is hilarious.
And I believe I read somewhere that should that matchup be set today, they would also be a favorite over Iowa State in the next round.
That is dumb.
Should Iowa State make it?
Should not.
No, I mean Iowa State's still dealing with
their best player's not going to play in the tournament. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not overreact and forget that this Carolina team's not great. So
They're
they
not.
were the first team in NCAA basketball history to shoot over 50% from the field, over 50% from three, and score 95 points in the same game ever.
Yep.
So
yes,
okay.
This is what dreams are made out of, though. Nobody expected the run in, 2023? Was it just 2 years ago? 2 tournaments ago? That they made that run to the Final Four? Yeah. Nobody expected it then. Who knows how far they can go with this one. Old Bill Belichick keeps bringing them pizzas before the game, giving them those, turn down the haters speeches.
Yeah, the only thing that Bill boo-booed, Bill, you overpaid. We could have gone hot and ready, Little C's. Let's go. You want to have a Chapel Hill frat party? You want to get the sorority girls showing up? You call the Caesar, okay? Because that's the pans that make her dance. Let's go.
We're on to Papa John's. Thank you. Anyhow, back to the free agency grades here in it's the off-season grades, really, because
I swear to God, if Little Caesars doesn't take up that pans to make her dance thing, I'm going to be so disappointed.
You give the Denver Broncos an A for their offseason. The Las Vegas Raiders an A-. Those are the only passing or I guess above C grades that you're giving anybody in the AFC.
Yes.
Okay. You said Buffalo was a big old C.
Didn't
you?
I did.
Okay. All right. Who was the one that you teased before the break, though, that was a big old fuh, but everybody thinks it's a winner?
The Tennessee Titans. Hey, we added Dan Moore and Kevin Zeitler, our offensive line. Surely God can't be as bad as it was. You're right. It went from god-awful to slightly less god-awful and now way higher paid. Good for you, Kevin Zeitler and Dan Moore. Your line still is not good.
Mm-hmm.
This would be like going out on a date and getting a handshake after you bought the $100 lobster. Nope. Coffee's for closers, bruh. And that's not what you got. I would have rather they signed the kid that nobody's ever heard of that Kansas City went left tackle. That kid's going to end up being like a 10-time Pro Bowler, and we're all going to look like idiots.
Well, we're not all going to look like idiots.
Don't worry. I'm going to get to Kansas City. And I give you a hint. Their grade rhymes with pho. It's not quite as bad as Tennessee, because Tennessee got a full-on falafel. They got a Gary Busey. We hadn't broke that one out in a minute. Tennessee, Mike Morganzi, I am convinced, did some kind of recreational crimes before it. I'm convinced he sent that offer, and it was 4 years, $8.2 million, and there wasn't enough ink in the printer, And they got it at $82 million, and Dan Moore went, his agent went, I don't care if you want to play there or not. I don't care if they make you play in a dress. You are signing this deal. Period.
Because it ain't going to get no better than this.
You could have sold your kidneys on the black market and not come close to this.
Yep.
It's the dumbest deal I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, did you not watch him for the last 4 years? He was a turnstile in pass pro. And you want to pay that as one of the best left tackles in the league? What are you doing?
Take luck.
Ugh. That's
not the one
I was live on a stream because we were preempted that day. You were, it was somewhere in your level of decapitating yourself. Oh, well, you didn't decapitate yourself. That's your head. How do you defoot yourself? I want to say decapitating, but it's a totally different thing.
No, that's
foot, cap, head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
De-shoeification.
It's not the one I was expecting.
Who were you expecting?
I mean,
I have a feeling I know who you're expecting.
I thought you were going to say the Cincinnati Bengals.
Why does everybody hate that so bad? Like, can you explain that to me? It's not like, look, they could take every draft pick they have for the next 3 years. That defense is still not going to be good. It can be less horrible than it was last year. You had to re-sign Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Yeah. I actually think you got a pretty good deal on T. Jamar, inflation. You blame Joe Biden. I never in a million years thought we were ever going to have a $40 million receiver, but here we are.
Mm-hmm. Really? After the latest deals that got signed, you didn't think we were going to hit 40?
I knew it was coming. The salary cap's not inflating enough for me to be there. I still don't see wide receiver as a premium position. That's the reason that I'm not jumping up and down going, hey, I love what Cincinnati did. I get it. You did what you had to do. I mean, for me, that's they're a C plus for me. Actually, they're actually one of my higher grades.
You did what you should have done last year. I saw somebody else said that in the comments, and I don't disagree. Like you knew you were doing this, so you should have just already done it. But you did what you had to do. I agree with it. I agree. I don't agree with your grade because I think it should be higher because I think they're a winner. I mean, I know you didn't add anything groundbreaking necessarily. You brought T Higgins back.
Mm-hmm.
You brought back Mike Gesicki. You're keeping your quarterback happy. That's part of the thing. Now, would I like to have seen maybe an upgrade on the offensive line? Maybe some defensive playmakers added here and yon? Sure.
You had the fourth most money going into free agency, and your big addition was Oren Burks to a defense that's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, I can't give that I can't get. I mean, it can be a net neutral because I think you benefited the offense and you didn't even mention Mike Gesicki. I like all of that. Your defense is still putrid.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're gonna sink draft picks into this. I know exactly where this is headed. The problem is that I don't trust you get it right because this is the same team that brought you such bangers as Miles Murphy and Chris Jenkins and Dax Hill. Yeah, sorry, I don't really trust you. So I mean, for me, yeah, I like that you got T back. I like that you got Jamar done finally. We can stop talking about that, and you can build the team out around it. I'm also scared you're actually going to trade Trey Hendrickson, which is dumb. You're not good enough with draft picks to trade the only pass rusher you have.
Right. What about New England? We hadn't mentioned them yet.
They're a big old duh.
A D?
ABC duh. What exactly am I supposed to like about that? Oh, the defense got better. Did it get good? Because the answer to that's no. I still look at that defense and go, who exactly am I afraid of that's going to rush a passer?
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, what am I scared of? So you got Milton Williams, who was a rotational player for Philadelphia, that had Jalen Carter on the inside of him, and he's now the highest paid defensive tackle in the league. Nope.
Don't like that.
It's fine. You just overpaid him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what am I supposed to jump up and down about that? All right, so you added Carlton Davis. I like Carlton Davis as a 2. I would say that's a solid signing. Harold Landry is dumb. I don't know if Mike Vrabel just went, I have to have my guy, and he hasn't watched him play football for the last 2 years. It would be hard for me to believe because, he coached him one of those years.
Mm-hmm.
He's not good at this.
He's not good at what?
Harold Landry's not a good
passer?
pass rusher. He can get after a quarterback every once in a blue moon. Other than that, he's a complete liability.
I was going to say, didn't he have like 15 sacks 2 years ago?
I don't care how many sacks he had. And no, he did not have 15 sacks. The most I remember is, I want to say 11 and a half. Don't quote me on that. 10 and a half.
12. He had 12 in 2021.
I split the
10
difference.
and a half in 2023. 9 last year.
Woo. He also did that with Jeffrey Simmons in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you watch him on tape. That's not a $15 million a year player. It's not. When I saw the deal, I audibly laughed out loud. Wow. $43.5 million for that? Okay. I mean, I've already watched New England do this one time before. I'm not getting duped by this. Like, I look at that New England Patriot roster right now with everything they did. You had the most money in free agency. This team is where in the AFC? Are they better? All right, let's just go through it. Are they better than the Dolphins or the Bills?
No.
Okay. Are they better than any team in the AFC North that's not the Cleveland Browns?
No.
Are they better than any team in the AFC South that's not the Jacksonville Jaguars? And I say that with my teeth gritted.
Yes.
Who?
They're better than Tennessee.
To me, they're the exact same team as Tennessee. The only difference, you have a quarterback, they don't. And they're about to.
Say, the Indianapolis Colts probably fall into that as well.
They're not better than Indianapolis. They're not better than Indianapolis. You're way better at quarterback. You are not better than Indianapolis. You go 2 to 53. By the time you get to 10, it gets super, oh my God. Like Michael Pittman's there 10. Your 10 is Demario Douglas. You are not the same. I don't love when teams do this. All right, we're bad defensively. This is a bad free agent class. We said that from the jump. And then it got worse because virtually every high-end guy goes somewhere else. Okay, Washington had money too. Look at what Washington did. Look at what New England did. Which one do you feel better about?
Mm-hmm.
You drafted quarterbacks back-to-back. You're not the same. I hate to tell you this. You're not the same.
Okay. So, not a fan of New England.
I'll call it a D plus because I do like
Milton
Milton Williams. You just overpaid him. And these deals are going to age like milk. You also signed Robert Spillane, who's a first and second down linebacker. That's all he can do. And you paid him like he's a 3-down guy, which please God tell me you're planning on playing him in coverage.
Yep.
Because if you are, you're going to see exactly how bad this deal actually was.
Yep.
And I got news for you. First and second down linebackers, the Bengals got one of those for 2 years, $5 million. And I could argue, I'm not going to say he's better. I can say he's every bit as good.
This is the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We'll be back right after this.
This is your extra
clear
weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More dry weather and continuing with the dangerous fire conditions as the Weather Service does put their statement out for this afternoon. Sun breezy, a few clouds, and 77. Change late tonight, early tomorrow with a few showers, 50. Quite breezy through the overnight. Thursday, breezy with a few showers around. Otherwise, sun and clouds, 62 degrees. Now, tomorrow night, the next change, rain showers may end as snow showers for some of us, especially with elevation as we drop into the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, breezy, and a high near 60. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Newcomb Tree Service. For over 20 years, Newcomb Tree Service has been Asheville's choice for tree removal, trimming, and emergency service. Fully insured, free estimates, and financing available. Call Newcomb today.
Oh, okay.
777-1226. If you can't cut them, they'll nuke them.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a winning season out here takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life out here.
March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Join Haywood Regional Medical Center on March 19th for a special Lunch and Learn event where our experts will break down the powerful connection between nutrition and colorectal health. Enjoy a free lunch while you're learning how smart food choices can help protect your health. Seating is limited, so reserve your spot now by calling 770-776-7291. That's 770-776-7291. Or go to myhaywoodregional.com/news to find out more.
The new I Heard app.
This is the one app you need.
Love my presets.
The preset feature is dynamite. Love it.
And I've been telling all my friends about it. They're on the app.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Patrick, plus a pre-show performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at 99kisscountry.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles. Get your tickets today.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
In the Sportsocracy, we like to make jokes, and we make jokes about doing ball things. Well, nobody does balls quite like Bear Smokehouse Barbecue. Bear balls, mac and cheese, pulled pork, and cornbread, fried and topped with a cheese sauce and bacon. You can see why they like to talk about their balls so much. And if you like ball things, it's also a great spot to catch the next game. Bear Smokehouse, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. Grab you some balls today and join us for the grand reopening March 29th.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, it is ESPN Asheville. There's a big festival coming up. You like festivals, Jeremy? You're not into the festival thing, are you?
There's a lot of people. I like a small, intimate gathering of myself and my wife. Mm-hmm. I'm bigger on that.
I like a good festival. You know, if it's got a lot of different things. You know, like every year, every April, before I started going to the NFL draft, which seems to be on the same weekend as Merle Fest every year. That was one of my favorite festivals around. Like when Bell Share used to be here in Asheville, this is my favorite weekend of the year. Last weekend in July, you got, 7 stages of free music. You got all the vendor food. It was for those of you who listen outside of the Asheville area, don't know what Bell Share is or is new to the area. It was the largest free festival in the Southeast. We drew in hundreds of thousands of people every last weekend in July. It was like the hallmark of my childhood. So I grew up on going to festivals. Love festivals. Sacramento's got a festival that I'm going to say it's a one of a kind because I've never heard of this kind of festival before. It's a grilled cheese festival. Certain foods have, festivals, like the Liver Mush Festival in Morganton every year, or in Marion every year. It's a great time.
Grilled cheese sounds wonderful. That other thing you said is not food. I revert back to what I said about fast food fish sandwiches.
This April, April 12th and 13th in Southside Park in Sacramento, the Grilled Cheese Festival is taking on a new partner, the NWA. And see, that's not as cool as your. And so I heard your mouth go agape, and you went, "Excuse me, the Grilled Cheese Festival with NWA all the way in." That would be reason to gather. It's not that NWA though. It's the other NWA.
Is it the wrestling organization?
Which I thought was extinct billion years ago. The National Wrestling Alliance is now hooking up with the Sacramento Grilled Cheese Festival.
I mean, that is one way to get 1,000 people to attend your event.
I guess so.
Who actively wrestles in the NWA right now?
I have no clue. No clue. That seems like an interesting thing to try to sell grilled cheeses to me.
But yikes.
I don't know.
I'm looking up and down the roster right now, and
Billy Corgan owns it now.
I could have told you that. Yeah, the Smashing Pumpkins guy owns NWA.
I did not know that.
So, all right, I'm just looking up and down the roster, and I fashioned myself to be a bit of a pro wrestling historian.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like like your mom didn't want to spend $60 on the WWE game, so she bought the $15 game that has like Rampage Steel and Carnage Jackson and good Lord, every
Magic Jake dumbass.
Yeah. Although
Dumas
Judas, who is one of the wrestlers, does look like Drew McIntyre if somebody beat his face with a shovel, set it on fire, and then put it out with the sharp end of a fork. So, good for
Ricky
you.
Morton.
Ricky Morton's 200 years old.
From the Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton is on the roster.
Yikes. That is that is brutal.
Years old.
That is brutal, and yet still better than John Cena's heel turn. My story is about the JFK files. Our commander-in-chief, he'd been paid off the promise to release them all. And you know what we learned from him? Not much.
Nothing.
Hey, he released all the files, and guess what we learned? Maybe the CIA killed him. That's entirely possible. We also learned that John F. Kennedy Jr. once called Joe Biden a traitor. And in other breaking news, some people do not know how to use the internet, and some people do not understand that John F. Kennedy Jr. and John F. Kennedy are not the same person. It would have been really hard for John F. Kennedy to call Joe Biden a traitor, considering Joe Biden was 19 years old when JFK got killed. So
was that it?
Yes.
Well, he'd be older than that.
Well, he's 80. Well, I mean, his government papers say he's 81, but I will say that dude ain't a step below 95. Also, the big takeaway for me was that the CIA was surveilling Lee Harvey Oswald for 59 days before he actually assassinated JFK.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it wouldn't have taken long to be around that feller to go, I don't know what we need to arrest him for, but it's something.
There's something there.
You know what? Let's call it the Freedom of Information Act, Patriot Act. Get him. Get him. That dude is nanners.
We didn't have the Patriot Act back then, though.
We probably should have.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we should have.
Hey, maybe we should have. If you're surveilling somebody for 59 days, they're guilty of something. Because look, I know how overtime works with policing entities. At 59 days, you would have already tapped out if you hadn't gone, we just got to see him do it. We just got to see him do something crazy. We just need to see him naked walk in his house with a vat of Crisco because that dude's nuts.
Nope. Don't need to see that at all.
We got to have something actionable. And also, apparently, aliens are real, which I read like 10 pages of that. The alien release documents, and I went,
oh,
there's nothing here. If you're a kooky Madookie, there is. We found this green ooze in the desert one time. Mm-hmm. The Ninja Turtles showed up. Calm down. Very underrated sequel, The Legend of the Ooze.
That was not good. It's not good.
Oddly enough, that is a movie that I've seen.
Of course it is.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Oh my God, Vanilla Ice is in that movie? I gotta see it.
Or maybe it's The Secret of the Ooze. It's either The Legend of the Ooze, something like that.
Secret of the Ooze.
That I've seen. The Godfather, I have not. Because I am maddeningly inconsistent when it comes to movies.
Absolutely. And we all know this. And you make my head hurt.
It's not my fault that you like bad movies. Like,
The Godfather is not a bad movie.
I wouldn't know. I've never seen it.
I don't know who
it's
gave
just
you that
old.
idea.
Well, see, it's old. And I live by a very simple philosophy. New is always better because they have like CGI and stuff. And when
Which
they
is
blow
the
things
dumbest
up,
rule to live by, because that doesn't exist in any realm of life except for food. That's the only spot where newer is better.
I can think of no less than 3 things that I don't think you're actively thinking about, and I will. Yeah, you're wrong.
Please do share.
2 of them I cannot share on this show. 1 of them I cannot share because of that whole Patriot Act thing we were talking about. So,
oh my god, I was like, please say music. Please say music.
Oh God, no. Music died with Creed. They gave us the perfect band, and then steady descent into hell from there. And then we landed on Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah. Gross. Not the case. Not the case at all. All right, AFC offseason grades to this point. Most of the big moves have been made. There's not a lot left out there, right? I mean, like Stephon Diggs is still the biggest name out there. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. These are just spot fillers at this point. We've talked to New England.
I was about to say, when you say something I disagree with, I'll let you know.
We've talked New England. That was one of the better off seasons, I thought. Or not like, I'm just saying, like trying to knock out the top half of the league here.
Okay, let me ask you a question. This is probably the best way I can explain New England. Would you rather go to Peter Luger's and have one of the best steaks that you'll ever have, and there's only 2 items? It's the steak and whatever side that you buy on top of that. Or would you like to go to Arby's and buy 14 crispy fish sandwiches? Because one of those is delicious and one of those is disgusting.
Was New that England, the one you were talking about earlier?
Do what?
Was that the restaurant you were talking about earlier?
They're all doing it. Patrick Holt said it's because of Lent, and I mean, I'm not Catholic, so I don't know. But I feel like you can give up other things that don't lead to you eating congealed fish bits on an Arby's bun.
Mm-hmm.
Give up sex. It'll hurt less. I promise. It will. Nope. I cannot finish that. You write your own joke, and you were probably right.
It's a risk taker.
Yeah, that joke wrote itself, and I realized not 5 words into it. Nope.
You aren't not do that.
And I'm going to laugh for 5 solid minutes in the commercial break at what I thought in my head.
What about Jacksonville? Did you like anything that Jacksonville did?
Could you name me what I'm supposed to like?
Other than De'Ami Brown. We talked about De'Ami Brown. We gave that flowers when it happened.
Yeah, it's overpaid.
$10 million for a year.
Yeah, but there's very little risk to it because it's only for a year.
Mm-hmm. Retaining, or not retaining, but bringing in Macari to
that
play
one's
guard.
Fine. It's just Jacksonville does the same thing every single year. Hey, we get locked in on a free agent. We have to go pay him way more money than anybody else would pay him. Eric Murray, top 5 dumbest deals I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
He was an absolute liability last year. We got to pay him $7.5 million a year. Why? Anybody else rushing to do that? I would, and this is one of those like hard knocks things that I wish we could do in the NFL. I want the agent to have to tell me what the other offers on him were. Because he got 3 years, $22.5 million from the Jaguars, and I'll bet you there was not another offer on the table that was more than 2 years for 4.
Mm-hmm.
And he sat back and laughed and laughed and laughed.
$7 million a year for Robert Hainsey didn't do much for me.
Oh, you mean a backup that couldn't play for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year?
That's a $7 million a year player. Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, it's terrible.
We're going second stringer.
Jacksonville's a
It's
D
worth
minus
$7
that was
million a
only saved by Patrick McCarry. And my question is, why did you not just re-sign Brandon Sheriff, who's a better guard and probably is going to sign for virtually the same thing?
All right, so you said D minus for them?
Yes.
Okay, Indianapolis Colts.
They came the closest to another. I gave them I think I need to upgrade that to a B minus. Because I do like that you gave Lou Anarumo two secondary pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love the contract on Cam Bynum, but it's fine. That probably should have been a B minus. That's what I want to see in free agency. You had two big holes. You went and filled them both. Now go into the draft, take the best player. I mean, I still want it to be a tight end, but there wasn't really one of those out there.
Mm-hmm.
The second best tight end that switched teams was Durham Smythe. So that would not have changed your need for a tight end.
And what are you going to do with your offensive line, though? That's my main question. With
Will Freeze is the only guy you lost. I can add a guard. That's when I start getting into I have to add a guard, a center, and a tackle. That becomes much harder to do in the draft.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville talking free agency off-season grades for AFC teams. We'll continue the discussion up next.
2025 World Tour is here, and we're loving hearing from our fans that you love seeing.
Clear.
You love
the only
seeing
other two
dunks,
AFC teams that needed to be discussed
long
were
shots,
Pittsburgh
trick
and
shots,
the Jets.
the buzzer beaters, and cool tricks. And we can't wait to bring all our history and all the laughs. We're coming to Harris Cherokee Center on March 21st. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. You cannot miss this. The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs, is here, and you can save big. Use code DRIBBLE to get 30% off select tickets for a limited time. Don't miss out on all the fun, dunks, jaw-dropping, what just happened moments before the tour is over. Get tickets at HarlemGlobetrotters.com. Additional fees and restrictions may apply. Valid on select seats. Code is available for limited time only. Offer only valid until 7 days before game day.
I found a fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
ESPN Asheville, broadcasting from the Ingalls studio at Radio Ranch. Log on to ESPNAVL.com and make us your number one preset on the iHeartRadio app. ESPN Asheville, number one for sports coverage in the mountains.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingalls, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More dry weather and continuing with the dangerous fire conditions as the Weather Service does put their statement out for this afternoon. Sun breezy, a few clouds, and 77. Change late tonight, early tomorrow with a few showers, 50. Quite breezy through the overnight. Thursday, breezy with a few showers around. Otherwise, sun and clouds, 62 degrees. Now, tomorrow night, the next change, rain showers may end as snow showers for some of us, especially with elevation as we drop into the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, breezy, and high near 60. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Congrats to Apple Tree Honda on the 2024 Honda Council of Excellence Award. Apple Tree Honda with the 2025 Ridgeline, 2025 Pilot, and the all-new 2026 Passport. Apple Tree, Western North Carolina's local Honda dealer and home of the Apple Tree Advantage. I-26 Airport Road, Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
That's horrible. No, you know what that is? That's horror awful. That's horrible and awful mixed together. Horror awful.
It's the moment you dream of. The moment you work for. All culminate into this time. Your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4 VICTIMS.
ESPN Asheville, your number one preset in the car, and now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler. Free never sounded so good.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville. The Sportsocracy is live from the Ingalls studio. Also live from the NFLDraft.net Mullet Manor. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Green. And don't forget, you can hear us everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. See us everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat each and every day.
We here at the NFLDraft.net studios have to thank all of the beautiful people as well. We had our highest view day ever on either Friday or Saturday. I can't remember which one. They were very close to each other, and I just have to thank all of you for watching the mock drafts and commenting and all the nice things that you do. You're affording me opportunities to do very cool things. I was in a group chat where I was, without a shadow of a doubt, the least popular person last night, and it was very cathartic for me to just go, I'm at the cool kids table. I like being at the cool kids table, and it's thanks to all of you. And I appreciate it a lot.
We do appreciate everyone sticking with us throughout this wonderful journey of ours, and it's going to be another great year here in the Sportsocracy. I'm kind of feeling like after the month-long reset that we just had with the Super Bowl, the sickness, the foot issue, the vacation, like all of that, I feel like we're just kind of resetting the decks here. We got to get our ducks back in a row for the push of the Draftmas season, and all of your most important draft content will be found here in the Sportsocracy and at NFLDraft.net. run by our very own at ESPN Draft Nerd, Jeremy Green. The off-season grades so far. We talked about many of the AFC teams in the last hour. Just a couple more to touch on here before we get to the worthy mentions in the NFC, the winners and the biggest talking points. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Jeremy, how do you feel about what they've done?
It's an incomplete to me until I know who the quarterback is.
Mm-hmm.
If you go Jalen Milroe, that's a big old F minus. If it's Aaron Rodgers, then you were talking B minus, because you did add another weapon. You did add another corner in Darius Slay, who I don't love, but he's a vast improvement over what you had. Still really curious what they're going to do at running back as well. No Najee Harris. That feels like a Marion Hampton's drop dead spot for me.
Yes.
Is that at 21?
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of running backs in this class, though. So Pittsburgh is an incomplete for me until I know who the quarterback is.
Okay. Who's the backup running back there? What was his name? I've been trying to think of it. Jalen Warren. That's right.
He's a little feller. I hope that's not your plan.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. Him and Kenny Gainwell. I'm not going to love that at all. But I also don't see any way that we go through this entire draft and they don't add another running back.
Right. I do not either. All right, Pittsburgh's at an incomplete. How about your New York Jets?
It's a D plus. I originally said C minus, but I dropped them a spot. I like Andre Cisco. I love a kid that grew up a fan of your team. Josh Myers is nice depth. I'm not really sure where you're planning on playing him, unless you're planning on sliding Tippmann into guard and kicking out Elijah Vera Tucker on the right side. I've said they should do that for years, so that is currently the path that I am thinking they're going, because I don't think Josh Myers would have signed to be a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields, it's a 1 year, $30 million deal. That's how it all breaks down. If it goes terribly, you're out of it in a year. Brandon Stevens is the one I can't forgive. I do not know what in the hell you could possibly have seen from him last year. Well, let's give him $12 million. I wouldn't have given him $12, let alone $12 million. He was an absolute liability last year. Oh, we can change him. No, you can't, because he's bad. Like, bad. And you're going to regret that. I promise you.
All right, let's talk about the NFC teams. Off-season grades. Who gets your top billing for the NFC?
It's Washington Commanders. It's not even close. Washington had money. They looked at a bad free agency class, and they went, no, or we could go get 2 Pro Bowlers. It's going to cost us some draft capital, but we have that.
Mm-hmm.
Debo Samuel, look, do I love him as a player? Do I love the contract? No. Do I love him as a move piece? Absolutely I do. Do I love him with Jaden Daniels in an offense where they started using pre-snap motion a lot more as the season went on? Absolutely I do. Oh, and by the way, your biggest liability was the fact you didn't have a left tackle. You went and got one that I didn't even know was on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Laramie Tunsil's a home run for Washington. And you brought back a ton of your own guys. Now, the reason that it's not an A+ and it's an A- is the Javon Kinlaw deal is insanely stupid. $15 million for Javon Kinlaw is lunacy.
Mm-hmm.
But they did sign our guy Dietrich Wise, whose dad is a friend of the show.
Awesome. As I believe we mentioned before, or I mentioned before, to me, Bobby Wagner coming back was a big statement for the state of the Washington Commanders. Because I feel like he's a guy that, if he didn't see a future in this, if he didn't see a chance that they were going to be competitive, that they were going to win or be close, I feel like he would have sought other pastures. But he didn't. And when you get a guy like that who is an NFL all-timer in your camp and giving you that vote of confidence that I want to keep doing this despite the fact that I'm 45 years old, That's going to mean something to me. Commanders were a big winner of the offseason. You said it's not even close, so who's the closest to the Commanders?
The closest for me is the Minnesota Vikings. I don't love what you're planning on doing at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I like a lot of the other things you did. Will Freeze, that's a solid upgrade at guard. Ryan Kelly, that's a solid upgrade at center. Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave, that's not going to be fun to deal with. You add that to what they already have.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing we have to wrap our brains around is that Minnesota this is going to be a really good defensive team that's probably not going to be a very good offensive team. That's the part that I don't understand. You paid Justin Jefferson $1 billion, and now you're going to have JJ McCarthy throwing to him.
Mm-hmm.
That math doesn't math. Not to me.
Who else to lift a rookie quarterback, though? It's like I was saying last year with Sam Darnold. I still don't believe all of that was Sam. He gets a lot of credit, obviously. Played a great year. There's not really much you could say for that. But the level of talent that Justin Jefferson gives you is gonna float most quarterbacks.
So
this is the way
right
that I would.
There, what you just said is where I vehemently disagree with you. Okay. You can give an average NFL quarterback. I don't give a damn if you've got Randy Moss, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. I don't care. If you're average, bruh. And I've watched this happen with good receivers for a long time. It does help. I am not telling you it doesn't.
Okay.
Sam Darnold got MVP votes.
Mm-hmm.
JJ McCarthy ain't getting MVP votes. It's not happening. He's not that guy. He was never that guy. Sam Darnold was. Sam Darnold was a high-end, talented prospect. JJ McCarthy was a third-round pick to most of us. That's it. He was a developmental prospect that now, having not thrown a pass for a calendar year, you're chucking out there, and you just expect. See, my fear is exactly what you just said is the thought process of Minnesota. That Kevin O'Connell is so good that any quarterback will work with him, and it's not true. And you know how I know that? Because I've already seen Nick Mullins. You know how I know that? Because I've already seen Josh Dobbs. Which, that worked for a minute, and then it didn't. And then they got him out of town quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because just putting anybody back there doesn't work. If it did, you would be paying Kevin O'Connell way more money than you're paying him right now. So I think it's flawed logic. But I do like what they did in the offseason. So for me, they are a buh.
Okay.
I can't forgive you for not having any form of backup plan for JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, no, I can't either. And I don't see how anybody makes excuses for that.
They will
taking a big risk.
Until
you're
don't.
taking a big risk. Yeah, you're taking a big risk. Putting all your eggs in the JJ McCarthy basket. Where's Seattle?
So I have 3 B- in the NFC, and Seattle's one of them.
Okay.
I do like that Seattle, you tied yourself to a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think you improved at quarterback. I like Sam Darnold better than Geno Smith, and I'm not sure it's all that close.
It's not. Not for me, anyway.
And you got a third-round pick for Geno Smith, and this is a team that does draft pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Where your grade, I like that you brought back Jaron Reed. I like that you brought back Ernest Jones. Where your grade takes a nosedive, I don't know what you think Cooper Kupp is at this point. He is not a $15 million a year receiver. He's also a guy that plays predominantly out of the slot, that same position that your new number 1 receiver plays and your 3 plays. That's the slottiest team in NFL history. Like, they make New England look like a group of nuns back in the Bill Belichick days. That's how slotty Seattle is at this point. That doesn't make any sense. The DeMarcus Lawrence thing didn't make any sense either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if your tape broke on him for the last 2 years. He's not a 3-year, $42 million player.
Mm-hmm. So Cooper Kupp, you say, doesn't have He's not worth $15 million a year anymore?
He is not to me.
I just had to look up the average salary, like average year salaries. That puts him between Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton.
And I would take both.
He's
of them
not that
over
good
him.
anymore?
I would take him over, or I would take both of them over him right now. I would not think about it.
Huh.
Jerry Jeudy
Khalil
finished like
Shakir.
4th or 5th in the NFL last year.
That is true. He did have a great
in
year
receiving yards. And Cortland Sutton was the number 1 receiver on a team that didn't really have a 2.
Khalil Shakir, Gabriel Davis, and Darnell Mooney.
Now
Those
you're
are the
getting
other
into
guys that are kind of in that ballpark.
Mm-hmm. Here's the problem. He's a slot.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't work with 3 slot receivers, and now your 1, 2, and 3 are all slots. And I went back just to make sure that I was right on Jackson Smith and Jigba. I had him as a slot guy coming out, too. This is not, I saw he can play on the outside. Nah, never saw that. Never saw it with Jake Bobo either.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make sense. I don't know who's going to play on the outside. I also don't know who can block to save their lives because you have 3 guys that don't do that well. It's a flawed roster construction to me, but I do like the Sam Darnold deal.
All right, Seattle with a B-. Who else is there with a B-?
Philadelphia. You've got to be – look, I know you lost a lot, but you've got replacements pretty much ready-made for all these guys, and you kept the most important pieces. Zach Bond was very important.
Mm-hmm.
You also didn't overpay. When you can draft like that, it's real easy to watch guys walk out the door. By the way, do you realize how many draft picks they have next year?
No, I do not.
They have 6. They will have 6 in the top 100.
Nice.
With compensatory picks. That's what smart franchises do. Oh, Mekhi Becton, he was a 1-year wonder. Cool, we'll go get another one. We'll go find another guy that can do the exact same thing. Because he's not a special talent. What he did is not over the top. It's not hard for me to believe that Kenyon Green can become that guy for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Adding A.J. Dillon. I like that move.
That's fine.
You know,
I knew you were going to mention that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to have somebody to spell Saquon.
He's a better thumper than Kenny Gainwell.
Exactly. You can't keep giving him 400 carries a year. And A.J. Dillon, that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade over who you were running behind Saquon Barkley last year.
I don't disagree. You also got a draft pick for Kenny Pickett. I mean, that's which is insane to me.
And
I would have given you I would have happily given you a draft pick for a backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. It would have just been Tanner McKee, not Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. And then, of course, they added to the Bird Dogs with Zizo Jalari.
Oh,
so,
Lord.
you know.
I'm so tired of that bird dog thing.
And
the bad thing,
doing it. It's never going to go
and they're
away.
going to draft one at the end of the first round too. And I'm almost positive that it's going to be Michael Williams.
Hadn't gone wrong yet.
I had one more B- in the NFC, and it was your team.
Okay. My team.
I didn't.
I'll take it.
I cannot fathom Chris Godwin giving up $20 million to stay in Tampa Bay.
Sometimes
that
you
is
just love a
unconscionable to
situation.
me.
Sometimes you just love a situation. You love a city. You love the organization. And you don't want to go anywhere.
And that's all well and good.
It was crazy.
$20 million, $20 million.
I get it.
I hate cold weather. Hate it. Worth it.
Worth it.
With a young quarterback.
$20
And I get to be the one. It's mind-boggling from Chris Godwin's perspective. It's great from Tampa Bay's. And that 1 year, $14 million risk on Hassan Reddick, that's probably the most underrated move of the offseason. And I'll tell you why. It allows you at 19 to not shoehorn an edge because I didn't think any of the edges fit Tampa Bay all that well.
Yep.
Now you can add a younger guy later. And with Yaya Diaby, you've shown you have an ability to do that. You can develop that guy into a role, and it keeps you from having to reach. That's what free agency is to me. The draft is your lifeblood. That's all you're getting in free agency is jewelry, and maybe a nice pair of pants. If the blood runs out, I don't care how cool your Dockers are, bro, because you're dead on the sidewalk. And there are some of these teams. It is really easy for me to look at and just go DOA.
You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is CSPN Asheville. Talking free agency grades, off-season grades so far around the NFC. And tomorrow, we are going to be on location live. Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville. They are the new official barbecue of the Sportsocracy, and it's all about balls for them. They're all about the balls. They're going to have all of the televisions on tomorrow and Friday. All of the basketball, all the round ball will be there. But there's another kind of ball that interests me more, and that's the bear ball. Pulled pork, cornbread, and mac and cheese smashed into a ball, deep fried, and you put cheese sauce and bacon on top of it. It sounds like a dish that Jeremy and I created. But
it is something that I may or may not have done a very poor recreation of in my own kitchen. And I realized I'll just leave it to the professionals that do it appropriately.
Yes, indeed. The menu is fantastic. They have some of the best meat in town down at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue. Again, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. We will be live on Cox Avenue tomorrow, 12 to 3. Friday from 12 to 3 as well, right around tip-off of the games tomorrow. Come on down, get your order of balls, sit down and enjoy the game with us, and we'll keep you entertained while we are there. Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, the new partner of the Sportsocracy, and we will see you live there on Cox Avenue tomorrow. We'll be right back. More free agency grades on the way.
Listeners are always asking about...
Now we're clear.
Treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate.
Oh, my bad.
To any of these questions. Is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints?
Cough. I did not hear a cough. I don't think.
Do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty?
I don't recall hearing a cough.
Importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging? If you answered yes to any of those, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 833-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
Okay.
333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a winning season out here takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life, out here.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah, you missed my balls in your mouth reference yesterday. That was a good one.
Every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville is back. Join us on the 29th at Bears on the South Slope for a lighthearted rage-releasing benefit party appropriately named To Hell with Helene. We'll exercise some demons together. A little axe throwing, a pie eating contest, mechanical bull rides. There'll be live music and, of course, great barbecue. Proceeds from the party will support Linked for Life, a mental health initiative. Say To Hell with Helene with us at Bears Smokehouse grand reopening downtown March 29th.
The Sportsocracy.
Man, you are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
It is ESPN Asheville. We are back in Sportsocracy and free agency off-season grades, continuing here for the AFC. The NFC. Many more winners in the NFC than we had in the AFC. We only had 2 quote-unquote winners from Jeremy Green in the AFC. So far, we've got 4 Bs and an A in the NFC.
I had to let that one go.
What?
You'll figure it out on the ride home.
Oh, okay. Who else you got with a winning grade in the NFC, or is that it?
That's really it for the winners for me. There are a few other teams that I don't mind what they did, like the Rams are a solid C.
Mm-hmm.
I still think you have issues. But Devontae Adams is that's a nice little prize to walk out of this with. I do think it's funny Devontae tapped on, I'm not waiting on Aaron Rodgers anymore. I'm just going to go play on the West Coast, which is what I want to do.
I feel like he's worn out his welcome with everybody. When you lose Devontae Adams, who's left to be in your corner? Because he was your guy. Right, I mean, I guess it'll be more damning if we could get a statement from Randall Cobb that he's done with Aaron Rodgers to know that everybody's officially done with Aaron Rodgers. But I'm not. I got more football in me than waiting around on you. And that didn't go too well this past year. I wouldn't trust it in a new city either. So none of that surprised me. What about the Detroit Lions? You hadn't mentioned them yet.
I haven't. They were another C. I have a slew of C's. I like DJ Reed.
Just like my transcripts.
And your bra size. That was where I was headed with That was where I was headed with the previous one. I was like, he's never going to get it, so I'm just going to have
to. Good for you.
Yeah, that's
good for you.
Sometimes I have to just tap. Tank's not going to figure out what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
I like DJ Reed. I like bringing back on Wuzariki. But, I mean, other than that, it didn't really send me.
Mm-hmm.
There's not. You're just kind of lathering up and doing the same thing over again, which is fine. I'm just
get number 1 seed. You don't really need to do a whole lot.
Well, I wanted
sure
them
don't lose a lot.
Well, I wanted them to add the high-end pass rusher, and now I just feel like they're going to do that in the draft. And if Mike Green falls in your lap, awesome. It's fine. You outsmarted me, and you didn't spend money. But, man, if he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Haven't mentioned Chicago yet either.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they did something smart, they did something really stupid behind it.
Okay. Explain.
If you can explain to me how anything Grady Jarrett's done in the last 2 years justifies $43.5 million, I cannot wait to hear it. He wasn't just bad. He was borderline unplayable in Atlanta last year. His pass rush win rate was almost unfathomably bad. And you didn't just sign him, you paid him. You have two better defensive tackles than that on your roster as it sits. So, yeah, I like Joe Thuney.
Mm-hmm.
It does send up a lot of red flags to me that you got him for virtually nothing. Andy Reid's not in a habit of letting really good players walk out the door unless he knows something that you don't.
Well, I mean, there were signs. Right
Mm-hmm.
toward the end of the year, Joe Thuney was more of a liability at times.
Well, he's
than
also
he
playing
was.
left tackle. I can't really hold that against him.
Right.
But
the
is
the
it not
metrics
weird
weren't
to
good,
you?
right?
At guard, he was fine. It was at left tackle that he was. I mean, he's an older guy. Maybe they're just trying to get out in front of it. But I feel like everybody's chalking that up like, oh, Chicago got one over on Kansas City. Hey, when was the last time you really felt like a team did that?
Got the better of Kansas City.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot. So,
Mm-hmm.
Deo Adingbo, that's not a $16 million player. I mean, if you're going to spend $16 million on an edge guy, at least go get a really good edge.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I liked the Drew Dahlman signing. I liked everything they did with the offensive line. I didn't like anything else.
Jonah Jackson, yeah. Okay. So Chicago gets a what, C?
They're a C for me. That's like the definition of just me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, your offensive line's better. Cool. You now have no excuses for when Caleb Williams comes out and gets sacked 57 times.
Yep. Who else have we not mentioned yet?
You haven't mentioned Arizona, which was another.
Arizona, that's, yeah.
They were a C plus for me. I do like Dalvin Tomlinson. I like Josh Sweat. You didn't get, I don't think you got a great value on either one, but it is definitely an improvement to your defense. I really like the Akeem Davis-Gaither signing. But I do look at LJ Collier and go, does he have naked pictures of somebody in this building doing something awful? Because that's the only way I understand that you keep paying him money.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that's always intrigued me. Like, I wish I could see the thought process that goes into signing these guys. There are certain teams that I never see do that. Philadelphia very rarely ever does that. If they sign a guy, I can draw from A to B. I got it. I know what his role is. It makes sense for the amount you spent. I'm hunky-dunky. And there's other teams that I go, how'd you get there? That doesn't, that math doesn't math to me.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 free agency grades in the offseason so far through the process. NFL draft coming around the corner. We're fully in the draftmas season. Don't forget to make NFLdraft.net your one-stop shop for all the most important rankings by Flostradamus Jeremy Green. We'll be right back.
This is your
Clear
weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More dry weather and continuing with the dangerous fire conditions as the Weather Service does put their statement out for this afternoon. Sun breezy, a few clouds, and 77. Change late tonight, early tomorrow with a few showers, 50. Quite breezy through the overnight. Thursday, breezy with a few showers around. Otherwise, sun and clouds, 62 degrees. Now, tomorrow night, the next change. Rain showers may end as snow showers for some of us, especially with elevation as we drop into the upper 20s. Friday, sunshine, breezy, and a high near 60. For the Weather Channel, I'm Ray State.
Don't do that.
Sport is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get
Okay.
discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Awards celebrated the music and artists you've loved listening to all year on iHeartRadio. Brought to you by Jeep.
It's now streaming on Hulu for a limited.
Okay.
Billie Eilish.
All right. Oh, I found him. All right.
Cool J.
Plus, Lady Gaga.
Mariah Carey.
Gracie Abrams.
And iHeartRadio's Tour of the Century Award, honoring Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Streaming now on Hulu.
March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. If you're over 45, it's time to talk to your doctor about a screening. Colorectal cancer is preventable, but only if it's caught early. Every year, thousands of lives are saved through early detection. Haywood Regional Medical Center wants you to know that screening can catch it early even before symptoms appear. Schedule your screening today at Haywood Regional Medical Center. Visit myhaywoodregional.com for more information. That's myhaywoodregional.com.
Atlanta Braves opening day arrives next Thursday as the Braves open the 2025 season on the road in San Diego.
Michael swings and hits one way up in the air. Back to the wall it goes, streaking out of the ballpark. It's a 2-run home run by Michael Harris as the kid strikes again.
Join us for Atlanta Braves baseball all season.
Flying through the sky like a comet to straightaway center field.
Atlanta Braves baseball is back on ESPN Asheville.
Tackle your spring cleaning list with Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning Spring Sale. Mention ESPN Asheville and get 3 rooms for $129 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Patrick, plus a pre-show performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at 99kisscountry.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles. Get your tickets today.
All right, we are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and before we get to the most important message of the day, we've got to hit these super chats because we've just been missing them.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Our good friend Red C, the resident Arizona Cardinals fan of the Sportsocracy, in with a couple of super chats here. His first one is Richard Hurricane Hot Rod Tankerus Spencer IV.
It's a very long driver's license for you.
That is. That's a lot of nom de plumes.
A lot of what?
I don't think I need that many.
What was that word you just used?
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
All right, and then his football question here or comment here is Collier is a coaching staff darling. He loves it in Arizona by all accounts and is okay depth. So Red C's on board with LJ Collier.
I would have been on board at $2 million, not $4 million.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also, it's easy for me to say that in a glass house because I don't know these guys. You know, so he may have a role in the room that I have absolutely no clue about.
Mm-hmm.
From what he brings on the field, it doesn't do much for me. I'm still stuck on that French word for money that you said.
No, nom de plume?
Nom de plume. Got it.
That doesn't have anything to do with money. That's a name. It's like a pen name, right? It's your nom de plume. Like if I wrote a book under Richard Hurricane Spencer, that's not my real name, so it'd be like a pen name. So it's called my nom de plume.
So you have a lot of plumage. Heard.
Indeed. It's an old term from, like back when they actually had quill pens. The plume of the pen was the feather, So it's the nom de plume. Anyhow, it's just one of those. It's one of those SAT words that I would think that you would know. But it's been a long time.
I'm an American tank.
Sure,
I know American words, and that does not sound like one of them.
That is not an American word.
You use your fancy French term somewhere else. Here we call them nicknames, and you'll like it.
All right, now it is time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy, which is always breaking and entering, theft, all crimes. All crimes, and look, you don't do crimes because it's hard to get away with crimes. It's really hard to get away with crimes, though, when you break into and steal things from, popular places, tourist attractions, in fact, that have a lot of security cameras. There's also a thing called an investigation, which authorities can do, and they can, search things like, I don't know, pictures that you take on your phone, or they can ping your satellite, your cell phone to tell where you were at a certain time of the day. And all of these things were used to help catch the guys who, I believe you told this story a couple of years ago when it happened, that stole a gold toilet from an English palace.
Sounds familiar.
The gold toilet that was worth more than $6 million 6 years ago was when the burglary happened. And just yesterday was apparently when Michael Jones and James Sheen found out their fates after they broke into the Blenheim Palace in England early one September morning in 2019, and they stole, yes, a golden toilet, much like you expect you would find in the bathroom of Donald Trump.
It's a huge toilet. It's very
toilet.
fitting for the keister that sits upon it.
Makes me feel like royalty. In a video, a car is seen speeding toward the palace across an open field. At one point, they actually drove up onto the steps of the palace, broke into the bathroom window, and stole the golden toilet. Tools in hand, ripped out the plumbing, did a lot of damage to the inside of the building. The plumbing caused problems because it, sprayed water everywhere and got a bunch of priceless artifacts all ruined and such. The toilet had $3.5 million worth of gold in it and was insured for $6 million. It once sat in the Guggenheim Museum in New York City. And these dudes just thought, you know what? That looks like a good thing to steal. We'll just go find it. When they did the investigation, they pulled off all of the pictures that this guy who was sentenced the other day, all the pictures that he had taken casing out the palace 2-3 days ahead of the break-in. Dumb criminals abound everywhere. But that stuff sticks with you. Just remember that. All the pictures that you take on your cell phone, there ain't no getting rid of those.
The golden turd. Sounds like a nickname for Jane Fonda. My story is about Uriel Torres Cortez. I'm going to tell you the story, but I'm going to leave out a word. I love playing this game with Tank. Uriel's a 60-year-old man that was arrested a week and a half ago after a search warrant was executed on his house at 6:45 in the morning and found that he had tools practicing blank. He wasn't supposed to. What is blank?
Dentistry.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. He had a dentist office out of his house.
That's hilarious.
Okay, now look, I'm a sensitive man about my teeth because I have teeth like a billy goat, but they're not as white as I want them to be. I have calcium deposits in my teeth, so I have to use special toothpaste and all kinds of annoying things.
Right.
The problem is that it makes my teeth kind of brittle, so I can't eat super hard foods and things like that without risk of, and yes, I know I chew ice. It's an annoying habit, but
yeah.
It's a thing. I actually chipped one of my teeth the other day. It's driving me absolutely crazy, even though it has no effect on anything. I just have one little rough edge on the side of my tooth, and it's driving me nuts.
Okay.
I cannot figure how desperate I would have to be for a dentist to go to someone's house in Hesperia, California, and let them operate on me in their living room. That is a special level of desperation. Now, here's the thing that's the most.
Definitely not.
You only get one set of teeth.
Yes.
Also, this is just a public service announcement from a guy that spends way too much time on the potty with TikTok. Stop shaving down your teeth. And if you do it, don't make TikToks about it.
What I have not seen this trend.
For veneers. They shave their teeth down, and there's a dentist that I follow, but just solely, I don't know why I follow him. I just do. And he has a massive bone of contention with people taking healthy teeth and shaving them down so that they will be veneered out. It mortifies me to see what your little stub teeth look like before they put your veneers in. So stop doing that.
That's gross.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't
You
like,
look like
I don't
something out of a
like
horror
teeth
movie.
Things. I don't like teeth things. Like some things just give me the the willies. Mouth things are one of those. Like broken teeth, or like that's the scene from American History X. Please tell me you've seen that.
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
a great movie.
That the curb scene. Dude, just the thought of the teeth and I can't. No, that's creepy.
Yeah,
Anybody who would take
doesn't
a
do much
file
for me.
to their own teeth is a madman.
Yeah,
Or woman.
it doesn't do much for me.
Yeah, you need to be locked up somewhere.
Oh, and by the way, it's also a good time to say brush them bad boys from time to time, especially if you're a close talker. Because I really want to normalize just slapping the heber-jeebers out of people with terrible breath.
Actually, not a bad plan.
I have
I'm
a
usually
toothbrush in
against
my
your-
desk, so thank you. If you could walk around the desk, you could find it because it's there.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you trying to tell me something? Or
No.
you
You're
just
not one of
want
those
me to
people. You
verify
also
that
don't
it's still
talk
there?
close because you know that I'm one of those people that if I can touch you, you're in danger.
Yeah, that's way too close. You don't. There has to be a buffer, right? Jeremy's favorite time in history, other than the fact of not being able to go anywhere, was the time when we told each other to stay 6 feet away.
I just see, and I found a way to carry that out, which is I at times wear a T-shirt that says "Don't hug me or I'll cut you."
I want a shirt that just says, "I still observe the 6 feet. Stay away." Something like that. I constantly have COVID. You might want to keep back.
I could also have another one that says, "You smell like the inside of an old wool hat. Please step away from me."
Your breath smells like you've been eating grilled cheeses at a wrestling match. Let's not do that.
That's solid. That's a solid way to tie the show together, Tech.
Thank you very much. You can go back and check the podcast if you missed that story. That was just a bit outside. Anyhow,
Also sounds like something that you would do. Like I could see you telling me, taking the family on vacation, going to the grilled cheesery at an NWA wrestling event.
Yep. And we're all wearing our John Cena shirts. Let's get in with the free agency grades, or back to the free agency grades here in the Sportsocracy. We're talking about the NFC. Go New Orleans Saints. I know Andreas is still hanging on. He wants to know really what you think of what the New Orleans Saints did this offseason.
Why are you? They're a D minus for me. Why are you clinging on to this weird belief that you're going to be good? Like giving Chase Young money that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Trading for Davin Godchaux. Why? What is the? So basically, everything they did that is a real addition is just a guy that was on the team before. You know you're bad, right? I love Andreas. I think he's one of them, and Gomaha and Colin, and we have a ton of Saints fans that watch this show, and they're really, really smart. If I get one more Saints fan, Notorious B.I.G. is another really smart Saints fan. If I get one more Saints fan that comments on a mock draft and says, "Why do you keep talking about the salary cap? That doesn't matter for us," blood is going to come shooting out of my ears. You understand you're in this spot because of the salary cap, right? You get that. Tay, another really smart Saints fan that asked about Justin Reed. I'm not a big Justin Reed proponent. He's fine, and I think he works with Tyrann Mathieu. Allows him to do some. He allows Tyrann Mathieu to be the player that I want him to be instead of the player that he is on film. If that makes any sense, I'm fine with it. I don't understand what the purpose is. I always have a problem when I feel like an NFL franchise goes into an offseason without a plan. And I feel like New Orleans did not have a plan. They let everything come to them. Oh, Justin Reed's from New Orleans. He wants to be here. Awesome. Let's go sign Justin Reed. It's almost like somebody playing Madden where they don't have any idea who's going to be a free agent until the screen pops up and they just go, hey, he's good at football. Let's sign him. I also do not, under any circumstances, understand how you got under the cap with Derek Carr's deal still on it. And all I can say is that means that looking to 2025, may God have mercy on your souls for how that cap looks next year as well.
Yeah, how much did you kick that can down the road?
You have,
or did you have to
rip the Band-Aid off eventually.
All right, who else is worth mentioning in the NFC?
I'm looking at
Packers?
I'm just going through the teams. The Packers, I don't understand what you saw in Aaron Banks, but I mean, I give you a C- because you added a player, I guess. The Falcons are a big old D. Like, that's just what in the. I would like to sit Terry Fontenot down in a room and go, just explain it to me. Just everything you've done with this team since the minute you took over. I want you to explain it to me like I'm 4 years old. Because it doesn't make any sense. Hey, we need a pass rusher. Let's go get Leonard Floyd, who is not good. Oh, and by the way, the last time we saw him do this, he was even less good than he was with his hand in the dirt.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, but he played for Raheem Morris 5 years ago, which was about 2 years before he turned into an absolute albatross.
They got Divine Satan, though.
Yeah, but they don't have John Gruden. Divine Satan only really does it for me if I got got Divine Satan, man. He's out there playing linebacker for us. Get out there doing it's full witchcraft, man.
Knocking down threes, nailing threes. He did an Instagram video the other day where Mark Pope, the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats, apparently sent him a big care package with a bunch of Kentucky swag in it. And he just, we got to drilling threes, baby, drilling threes. Like, dude, calm down.
I will say John Gruden on social media is kind of a fun follow. I saw I can't remember what song it was. I saw a video of him the other day that somebody had shown him a rap group. I think it was Migos. Yeah. And he was just sitting in his office listening to Migos going, really into this, man. Really gets the blood going, man.
You ever have one of those moments in your life where you just realize you've been missing out on something?
That's the one,
man. Yeah, it's the Migos, man. You don't know about this? And like the 20-year-old intern that came into the office was like,
what is happening right now?
Yeah, I do know Migos, but I'm not sure why you're listening to it.
I'm shocked that you do.
He is a trip. He is a trip. All right, anybody else worth mentioning before we head out of here for the day?
It's Carolina Panthers.
Meh. Did they do anything that made you happy?
Not really.
They didn't do much for me.
Bobby Brown, I don't mind that. That's a nice flyer on a nose tackle.
Millie Bobby Brown?
Do what?
Millie Bobby Brown?
No.
That one?
No, Bobby Brown third. But I mean, you overpaid Tershawn Wharton. I don't love Christian Roseboom. I never really have. Trayvon Morig is just a really expensive version of Jeremy Chin. It's just, it feels like you're spending money to spend money, and I'm never a fan of that.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. If you're a fan and you want to come hang out with us tomorrow or Friday, you're more than welcome to. Tomorrow when we return here on ESPN Asheville, we will be live from Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville. It's on the South Slope, Cox Avenue. They'll have all of the bear balls that your mouth can handle. They will have, of course, the best meat, or some of the best meat in town. Their pulled pork alone is worth the trip down there. You throw in the fact that that you can get it in a bowl with cornbread and mac and cheese all smushed together, and you can go to their little sauce buffet that they have there.
Oh yeah, the sauce buffet is what makes it
so good, so good. They've got spicy sauces, they've got sweet sauces. It is the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. We'll be live from Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue again, Cox Avenue, downtown, tomorrow and Friday. We will see you then.
Wake up feeling lousy, knowing something.
And we're clear.
You don't have time for guesswork. You need Viome. Forget all the generic health fads. Viome doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It tells
balls in your mouth.
Your gut microbiome. Viome delivers a custom health plan that's as unique as your DNA. It's science, not nonsense. Want energy? Want better digestion? Viome has your back. Stop.
Yep.
Amateurs. Go to Viome.com for a personalized gut professional now. Call Star Gut to get $110 off any test. That's star 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
It's the moment you dream of. The moment you work for. Train for. Run wind sprints when nobody's watching for. The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this. Your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much.
Yes, sir.
25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out.
All right, man, take it easy. After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair,